spectacular Las Vegas Strip south, and you will find the beautiful and luxurious Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, which tonight plays host to the premier mixed martial arts event in the world. Welcome to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. This is UFC Victory in Vegas. Welcome live inside the Mandalay Bay Event Center, Las Vegas, Nevada. The premier boxing destination in the world welcomes the premier event in mixed martial arts today. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. We welcome you to UFC 33. Not one, not two, but three belts on the line tonight. The middleweight championship, the lightweight championship, and the return of our light heavyweight champion, Tito Ortiz, to defend his belt, but not against Vitor Belfort. The news is in and Belfort is out. Belfort injured in training a week and a half ago. He suffered lacerations in his left elbow, had minor surgery, so he is out. And the big Russian wrestler, Vladimir Matyushenko, is in. But let me tell you, fight fans, Matyushenko is awesome, and he will put up a great fight against the champion, Tito Ortiz, tonight. Joining me on the broadcast team, making his debut, Jeff Osborne. Jeff, to describe Tito's last year and a half, devastating.
This will be his fourth title defense, but to describe his last week, it could be devastating, as Vitor Belfort is a totally different threat than Vladimir Matyushenko. Ortiz trained for a boxer and jiu-jitsu stylist, but Vladimir Matyushenko is a world-class wrestler who is more than capable of putting Ortiz on his back.
It will be interesting to see if that happens. It will also be interesting to see our lightweight grudge match, if you will, between Jens Pulver and Dennis Hallman.
This is not only business between these two guys, it is very personal. Bragging rights for an entire state as Dennis Hallman attempts to dethrone Jens Pulver and that flawless octagon record.
What a special night tonight, as many of our fight fans seeing the UFC for a first time in many years. And with that, you think back to Royce Gracie. And with that, I bring in my other partner, Elvis Sinisek. And isn't it ironic that Gil Castillo fights Dave Monet in the middleweight championship fight, and Castillo fights with the Gracie family?
Absolutely. Those people who have been away since we've been off pay-per-view will remember the UFC as Royce Gracie. Now we have a new generation of fighters, and one of those is Gil Castillo, and he is a student under Cesar Gracie. He is coming into the octagon undefeated, and he was saying that's how he plans to walk out.
Dave Monet is truly a warrior.
Absolutely. Dave Monet is one of the most seasoned fighters in mixed martial arts. He will fight anyone, regardless of weight. And he plans to come in tonight and put on a great show.
The night has finally arrived. The boxing capital of the world becomes the mixed martial arts capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. And with more on that, we check in with Ryan Bennett.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Mike. While things are heating up inside the arena, tell you what, some big things going on outside the arena. We are at the Mandalay Sportsbook, and right now you can actually wager on the title fights. This is the first time ever UFC is being booked by sportsbooks in Las Vegas, a very historical occasion. And joining us right now from the Sportsbook is Hugh Citron. And Hugh, I tell you what, who are some of the guys right now we're seeing a lot of action on?
Well, no doubt about it. A lot of the people came here to bet on the main event between Tito Ortiz and Vladimir Matyshenko. And right now, it seemed like early on, Matyshenko was taking all the early money, which was surprising to us. We thought that Tito would take a lot of the money. But as that price came back, it seems like the Tito Ortiz people now are kind of coming back on him a little. But we've had great action. A lot of people are looking forward to betting, and we think it's going to be a great fight here at Mandalay Bay.
Hugh, well said. Thank you so much. So, guys, will it be an upset? Well, we'll find out in a few minutes. Let's turn it back to you guys at ringside.
Well, Ryan, we will look forward to your reports throughout the evening as the Octagon has come west, and it is now built and ready to be opened inside Mandalay Bay. Don't forget rules of the Octagon, ways to win. 3 judges score our bouts. The bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds unless it's a championship fight, at which point we go to 5 5-minute rounds. Round winner gets 10 points, opponent gets 9 or less. A 10-point must system based on effective striking, grappling, aggressiveness, and Octagon control. So let's give the fans what you want, a championship to start the evening tonight. Dave Manet is set to take on Gil Castillo.
Hello, I'm Dave Manet from Forest Lake, Minnesota. I'm 26 years old, and they call me the Warrior. It's time to crown a champ, and I'm not leaving empty-handed.
My name's Gil Castillo. I'm 35 years old, fighting out of Concord, California. I'm 16-0 in mixed martial arts competition. I'm one of the best middleweights in the world, and I deserve this shot. This is the biggest fight of my life, and I'm ready.
I've fought in big fights all over the world, and this is the biggest.
I've proven myself everywhere I've fought, and I'm going to make the most of this opportunity.
This is a huge opportunity for both of us, but someone's going home disappointed.
I respect Dave, but tonight is my night.
We'll see about that. I do my talking in the Octagon.
Up next, Dave Manet versus Gil Castillo for the UFC Middleweight Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 5 rounds for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World. This fight is being sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Mr. Luther Mack, chairman. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. He is a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu expert with a mixed martial arts record of 16-0. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 182 pounds. Fighting out of Concord, California. Please welcome Gil Castillo. And his opponent, standing to my right, he is a freestyle fighter with a mixed martial arts record of 34, 3, and 1. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 182 pounds. Fighting out of Forest Lake, Minnesota. Please welcome Dave the Warrior Manet. And our referee for this championship bout is Big John McCarthy.
So we have a championship bout, and that means we are set for 5 5-minute rounds. Our judges, as assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Jeff Mullen, Tony Weeks, and Douglas Crosby. And we are set to go with some of my favorite words in the world. Big John McCarthy to get it started.
Okay, we go for the middleweight championship. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, let's get it on. Come
UFC,
on.
welcome to Vegas. And here we go. Middleweight fight between Castillo and Manet.
This should be an interesting fight. Castillo says he's worked more stand-up than he's ever done before, and he's actually looking for a KO here.
He told me yesterday, losing is not in my vocabulary. Certainly Dave Manet feels the same way.
Absolutely.
I tell you, Manet has been all around the world. He does not feel the pressure against Gil Castillo. Nice shot, Manet with the clinch. Castillo pushes him up against the fence.
So Manet sees Castillo work the legs, and isn't it interesting that our first matchup of the night, now that we're around the country again the way it should be, is someone representing our first ever champion, Royce Gracie, with cousins Cesar and Renzo Gracie in his corner. Gil Castillo will try to work on Dave Manet, who, as I mentioned a moment ago, is extremely well-rounded.
Definitely. Gil wants to prove to everyone that he belongs in this title fight. He's doing a great job. He's trying to work Dave up against the fence, and he's looking for one of those legs to try and get a takedown and work him on the ground. And Dave is using a great job of keeping his hips down and low and sprawling every time Gil tries.
Now Mandalay, from Shudo to rings to Warriors War to Super Brawl to Extreme Challenge to Hook and Shoot, has been a champion at so many different levels. Impressive mixed martial arts record, 34-3-1, so extremely experienced, Jeff.
Right, he is the Rodney Dangerfield of the sport. He represented the United States in a tournament in Kuwait, defeated Carlos Newton, won the overall tournament, beat some big guys, and still he's looking for that respect. And tonight, the respect is inside this octagon as these guys are battling for the gold and that championship. And it is going to get pretty good here as soon as they get off this fence and hook them up back in the middle of the ring.
Carlos Newton, our reigning welterweight champion. Castillo, his UFC debut, but as we mentioned earlier, 16-0 in his mixed martial arts career. Overcame a fear of what might happen to him inside a mixed martial arts match earlier in his career. I asked him about that. Some interesting background with him. He said, I have no fear any longer because I have such great confidence in my abilities.
You'll notice here, Gil is trying to work the takedown. He's got the underhooks. But every time he tries, Dave is sprawling and using those knees with great effect. They're going to wear later on in the match.
Mandalay is a guy who, nice knee by Dave Mandalay. And that scores on Gil Castillo. You're talking about taking a guy down like Dave Mandalay. Another deep knee to the breadbasket.
Well, he's using those knees to great effect. But Gil's using an interesting ploy here. Instead of throwing leg kicks to the legs, he's actually hitting the thigh with his hands, with hammer fists.
And now he has his takedown, but Mandalay has his neck.
Mandalay has that guillotine. Castillo needs to get around, and they stand it up.
Spinning it again, Mandalay spins through. And Castillo able to break out of the guillotine attempt. Side mount, though.
Beautiful exchange between these two. Mandalay inside control, landed some short shots to Gil Castillo.
What a nice job by Dave Mandalay to spin and reverse that takedown almost instantaneously.
Keep an eye out there. He was looking for that right arm. He was looking for a figure four.
Look at Castillo. He's trying to shoot that left leg through there and regain his guard. As always, the Gracie's known for their guard. Castillo is known for that guard. He has some beautiful submission moves. Those who are criticizing Castillo for being in the UFC need to take a look at some videotape. This guy is the real deal, and you don't get an undefeated 16-0 record for nothing.
Absolutely. In his debut match, he beat the experienced Vernon White with an armbar. Now that's an impressive way to start.
Also defeated Lions Den fighter Joe Hurley, and then most recently, the two-time King of Pancrase, 9th-ranked Nathan Marquardt, which was a huge victory for Gil Castillo. So you look at the record and the fighters he's beaten, Jeff, and you're absolutely right.
A nice short elbow from Dave Mandalay there. It looked as though Castillo was working for that omoplata shoulder lock that he has defeated a few guys with. Mandalay, wise to that, gets out, and now he's going to ground and pound here and look for an opening.
You can see Dave there. He's got his hands inside and on the bicep and shoulder. This stops Gil from throwing effective shots or setting up a good submission.
Almost going for that triangle there, but unable to get that leg open.
24 seconds remains in round number 1. First of a scheduled 5 5-minute rounds.
Work it out.
Talk about the impressive victories for Castillo. Mandalay in his career has beaten, as you mentioned, Carlos Newton, Tele, Nikau, Dennis Hallman, who will fight later tonight against Jens Pulver, Little Evil, for a title shot. Middleweights have gone 5 minutes, and a good 5 minutes it turns out to be, as the horn sounds to signify the end of round number 1.
Nice exchange between both guys.
Let's check in with Ryan Bennett.
All right, guys. Well, we were with Mark Ratner, the executive director from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And Mark, what's it like to have the UFC and the family, so to say?
Oh, I'm very excited. It's a tremendous crowd, a live crowd. They seem like they're enjoying themselves. It's a wonderful night.
What kind of impact do you see the UFC making here in the state of Nevada?
It's going to be a huge impact. We already have another show coming November 2nd. I think it's going to be a big-time sport, and I'm glad that the Athletic Commission here is part of it.
All right, and guys, as we can say, we can already see it's a victory in Vegas. We got the Athletic Commission on board, and let's take it back to you guys at ringside.
Certainly has taken a long time and a lot of patience for those believers in mixed martial arts, and it is nice to see mixed martial arts being recognized by the mainstream media and the mainstream commissions here tonight. Looks like Dave Mandalay adjusting a contact lens, and he is just fine with a little help from the former well-decorated champion, Pat Miletich. So McCarthy's ready to get round 2 underway between Manet and Castillo.
Are you ready? Let's get it on. Come on.
Here we go, round number 2.
Let's see what both fighters try and do here.
Manet handed that contact off to Miletich. He may have one in, one out. A lot of guys fight with contact. There's a nice left leg kick.
Time. Go back to your corner. Back to your corner. Let's go.
Back to the corners, John McCarthy.
Contact in. I'm sorry. Fuck. Let's go.
Mouthpiece is now in. Worried about the contact so much, forgot to put the mouthpiece back in. McCarthy realizing it right away. Big John doesn't miss anything. That's why he's the best referee in mixed martial arts today.
Good eye by McCarthy. Safety the utmost concern here in the octagon. There's that high kick from Manet.
Read nicely by Castillo, though, and he takes the second one to a certain degree, but he's able to clinch in towards Dave Manet.
I'm wondering,
there's a knee that connects.
We were talking about.
Manet was an Iowa State wrestler, and that is coming into play. He's sprawled on Castillo. He's got the guillotine choke. I think Castillo has an arm through.
Well, Manet's Muay Thai background is where he gets a lot of his striking, and you saw the high kick a moment ago as he's trying to twist through Gil Castillo. Now, Castillo with jiu-jitsu background, Elvis, and you know this because you have great background in jiu-jitsu, should remain patient trying to work through submission attempts.
Absolutely. The whole time there, he wasn't panicking. He kept working out. Dave is working for a neck lock. He's trying to catch the chin. And the moment the neck lock slips, he will look for a guillotine.
Good recovery by Castillo. Gets his legs back through for the guard. Back to square one for Manet. He needs to get out of there and work for a better position.
You'll notice what he'll do. He'll strike to the body, and then he'll throw a shot to the head. What he's trying to do is get Gil to open up his legs, and he's going to get up and back out. I don't think we're going to see Dave staying in the guard unless he has to.
Gil Castillo had an interesting perspective on this fight tonight, anticipating it could go a long way. He said, really, it's 4 or 5 games, 4 or 5 rounds if you don't have a fight in early. So let's say 5 games here. You try to win each game, and each game is a 5-minute game. And you try to take 3 of those 5 rounds, and you find yourself a middleweight champion. So he's going to try to pace himself to a certain degree, play round by round as opposed to the whole big night. Missing the kick was Manet, ducking under it nicely, Castillo.
Look at Castillo working around. Manet, great job defending. Castillo has him pinned up against the fence.
That also makes it difficult for Gil to get his head out because he needs to come around to the
Post
side.
with the left hand, David.
Pat Miletich in the corner of Dave Manet.
Up. There you go. Get him off your hips.
Manet has the
Get him off your hips. Don't let him pick you up. Don't let him pick you up. There you go.
There's a shot. Castillo brings it back down. Gil Castillo, not only has he never lost a fight in his mixed martial arts career, he told me yesterday he's never lost a round.
Oh, there's a guillotine in there. Gil,
and he
was in danger there.
Now full guard by Gil Castillo. Great exchanges shown by these guys on the ground, both working for position, looking for the sweep, trying to improve their position here in the octagon.
Well, Manet's certainly a multiple champion in a lot of different events in mixed martial arts, but this just his second time inside the octagon. Debuted back in March of 2000, defeating Fabiano Iha by a unanimous decision. Asked him yesterday, how have you transformed since that point? He said, I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm badder, meaning in a good way, and I'm a much better striker. We know one thing, he is extremely well-rounded, as was mentioned before.
Yes, he said he would be happy winning with either a KO or a submission. He's going to take the first opportunity to win, whatever it is.
Well, the one thing he is, as we mentioned earlier, is tenacious, and he has the tendency to push every fight. Push, and that is what he has done against Castillo, especially here in round number 2.
1 minute, buddy, 1 minute.
My first glimpse at Manet, he was fighting at 155 pounds. That, of course, was in April of 1997. And this guy has come a long way from making that debut at such a small weight.
Interesting man when you talk to him away from the fight game. Reads a lot of history, philosophy, classic literature. He says, none of the books I read, Mike, are from this century.
Oh, he's got it.
Manet scoring with those rights, trying to sneak that through. Castillo has the single leg.
But he is certainly a 21st century fighter and continues to work on the upper extremities of Castillo's body.
Maybe he made a mistake there, trying to go back into Castillo's guard. Maybe he should have done what he did before and backed out.
Come on, keep it working.
Here in the close of this round 2, and it's been a pretty even one, I'd say.
Push on the hip, push on the hip.
I think much is going to happen from here.
So 2 in the books. And Mandalay and Castillo have one thing on their minds, and that is to walk out with the middleweight belt around their waist.
Water, water. Have a seat. Water.
You have it. Have a seat. Let's take a look at some of the things that transpired here. Mandalay, faking there, goes high with the kick, and Castillo, a big left right to the chin of Mandalay.
You got to throw the left hand, okay?
And here's Mandalay trying to work that guillotine in. You'll see that
As he rolls him over, he's going for either a neck crank or a choke. He's waiting for the opportunity to slip that arm all the way through so he can get a finish. But Gil hasn't stopped moving. He's trying to keep on moving. That does not give Dave an opportunity to get that finish sunk in.
Now, what a night here, Mandalay Bay Event Center, a building which has hosted great boxing matchups like the De La Hoya Trinidad, Vargas Trinidad, Luis and Tua, Morales and Barrera. And now tonight, Castillo and Mandalay to start an evening which will end with Tito Ortiz, our light heavyweight champion. Here's round 3. Dave Mandalay, Gil Castillo. Great show of respect in mixed martial arts. Got a loose piece of tape on Dave Manday's glove. And McCarthy will take care of it.
I did. I said
Yes, it was interesting. Gil at the start of the first round was interested in trading. But now that he's taken a few shots, he seems to have gone back to his natural game, and he's trying to get it to the ground so he can get that finish.
Now, his favorite technique is that rear naked choke. And anything that he can do to get into a position where he has a chance to submit his opponent is advantage Castillo. Mandalay would love to throw strikes all
Back
night.
your corner, back your corner. Get on over there.
We're ready to go. Neither man looking too winded here. We're starting this 3rd round.
So there's the show of respect that mixed martial artists have for each other. And a Muay Thai quick kick. And a combination again as the left hand comes in from Castillo and the left leg lands from Dave Mandalay.
Yes, he seems to have gone back to that striking game, looking to land a few shots. Probably trying to get Dave to commit to some punches or kicks so he can shoot in under them.
No, but you like to use the legs. You have a Muay Thai background. Do you leave yourself in danger when you throw the kicks?
Absolutely. There's always a risk of the leg getting caught. But for those people comfortable on the ground with a good guard, when they grab that leg, they're falling straight into it.
These guys are really starting to tee off here in round number 3. They're going toe-to-toe.
Nice exchange between the two. Mandalay working that jab.
Now the uppercuts, and delivers a couple of hits to Castillo. He's on the retreat. Mandalay trying to close it out. And Castillo recovers.
Nice recovery by Castillo. Mandalay working that knee high to the head. Glanced off of there. Castillo.
Still keeping pressure on. Those shots rocked him, but he seems to have come back quite well. Dave probably stopped just a little bit too soon.
Castillo keeps sticking that head in there, trying to look for that shoot. But he is doing a good job of controlling the leg. Good recovery from that shot. He was stunned a little bit.
He looked like he was in a lot of trouble. He took a couple of uppercuts after that kick and a few punches, but he still managed to come back, drop under, and catch those legs. Here come the knees from Dave. He'll start pushing off, using those knees. And Gil with those hammer fists to the leg. They're going to wear as it goes to the 5th round. They're really going to wear on his leg.
Got for the punch from Mandalay. Nice drop. Grabs the double leg. Mandalay sprawl.
Mandalay's got good takedown defense. Castillo certainly was punished here in round 3 thus far, and they're back on their feet. I think that's where Dave Mandalay wants it.
I think so too. He's been working more on the stand-up than the ground.
There's a right that connects with Castillo.
Castillo's got to get those hands up. He keeps dropping the hands.
You can see they're getting lower and lower every round.
Got the right that time, though, did Castillo. Yeah, those hands are low, aren't they? Look at Mandalay's hands. They're right in front of his face, and Castillo's are low. But he's thinking about the shoot. But you have to defend that face.
I think it's just more exhaustion than thinking about the shoot. His hands are dropping, and he's going to risk a head kick, which Dave loves to throw, or possibly a big right or left hand.
More exchanges between the two. This age factor, Castillo 35, Mandalay 27, may play factor in here. Nice little jab from Mandalay there. Both looking for that opening.
Actually, it was a set of jabs which he threw, which set up those punches before that really rocked Gill.
Well, Castillo is in South Lake Tahoe for half of most of his workout weeks. So he says when he's in Tahoe with that great elevation, he spends a lot of his time working on his cardio there. So as you mentioned, cardio could be a factor, Jeff, but it's ironic that Castillo works in the high altitude. We've seen some of our other great fighters like Tito Ortiz, as Mandalay goes down and Castillo finally gets his first takedown, work in the Big Bear area in California to get that increased lack of oxygen so they can work through the tremendously grueling matches that we have here in mixed martial arts.
Both of these guys can go 25 minutes. They've had long matches with several opponents. Renee's no stranger to going the distance. Neither is Gil Castillo. And as I said before, there's a reason Castillo's here. He says he is ready to go the entire duration of this fight. He is working to get out of Renee's half guard right now.
Absolutely. He used a beautiful body lock to bring that to the ground. And right now he's looking to use the elbows to distract or either cut Dave so he can get that right leg out past the guard and look for his submissions.
44 seconds remains in round number 3.
And here he is working to try and get that half guard. Yeah, that's it. He's using his other leg. Oh, and Dave reversed it. He's now in Gill's guard. Let's see what happens at the end of this round.
This is where Mandalay really likes to push the action, trying to stay very busy.
Sit up!
Both guys right now throwing short, choppy punches, trying to get a reaction so they can set something up.
Sit up and jack him, Dave. Deep breath.
Another close round, but you never know what's going to happen. As we said before, Castillo was rocked. He's recovered quite well.
Yep.
And now he's where he wants to be, inside his guard to close out the end of round 3.
And the end of the round. Mandalay. There is Carmen Electra with some beautiful friends here this evening in Las Vegas. Carmen Electra working with the great people at the UFC, and Victoria Silverstadt. They are here tonight because they are fans of these great fighters in the world of mixed martial arts. A star-studded affair here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
Let's go to one of the replays.
You gotta circle left, Dave. You're standing still, buddy.
And you gotta press him.
Here's that barrage by Mandalay. He sets it up.
And here it comes.
And that stunned him.
Here's that right, and there it lands. It's really got Gill moving backwards. Here it is. Boom.
Castillo, to his credit, landed a shot there too that was pretty effective.
Absolutely.
Get up. Get over.
This is a close one so far. The self-proclaimed Prince of Leg Locks, Gil Castillo, against the Warrior, Dave Mandalay.
Absolutely. Both these guys not afraid to trade.
Well, you want to talk about incredible conditioning and incredible athletes. This sport has transformed into this. Well-versed, well-rounded fighters who can do everything very well. Still, they have a discipline, and they do some things better than others because that's a natural thing. If you're a wrestler, you're always a wrestler. But still, the skills are so even and well-rounded. And the conditioning of these athletes is second to none. Go throw punches for 15 seconds in a bag sometime, let alone go for 4 rounds here and take punishment like Castillo just delivered with a couple of quick lefts as Mandalay steps back in.
Absolutely. Something interesting to note is on Gill's right leg, you can see bruising and reddening. He's taking a lot of leg kicks, and that's starting to slow him down. You can see his feet are starting to get a little bit slower.
The conditioning of these mixed martial artists, second to none. I mean, you talk about grabbing each other for a while, and a high knee that comes up from Mandalay and glances over the forehead of his opponent, Castillo.
You got to be careful putting your head to the side like that against a guy like Mandalay. He's capitalized on it quite well. There you see him going for underhooks. Another high knee.
He really likes those knees when he's pressed up against the fence. He's hitting the body, he's hitting the head. He's just throwing those knees.
That one hurt Castillo. He needs to defend that rather than worry about that underhook. Another one connecting.
And they talked about this sport being 100% adrenaline and 1,000% pure guts. And what a way to start the evening here in the middleweight.
Oh, there's just been a cut opened up on Gil.
Castillo is cut.
It's luckily under his eye, not on top. On top, it could be a real problem.
And that's the knee. The knee is delivering the damage. Dave Mandalay to Castillo. Castillo wants the takedown. He doesn't want to give up this position of having his opponent up against the fence, but he's being punished in what should be a position of dominance.
He's paying the price. Let's see Pat Miletich in the corner of Dave Mandalay.
Circle!
Oh, and he's still throwing those knees. He really likes those knees up against the fence, as we said earlier.
David, you got
Now he's throwing the knees with that other leg. He's changing legs.
Gil, get your hand off the fence.
What does Castillo have to do to bring him down here, Elvis?
He needs to get his arms underneath Dave so he can drop down low and grab the leg and get his arms around his waist to lock in for a body lock.
Yeah, the medical stoppage here. They are going to check that cut under Castillo's eye. It is under the eye, as Elvis pointed out.
Okay? Huh?
Watch the knees that did the damage.
Dave!
These are the knees we were talking about earlier.
Come back to corner.
Here's that first knee. It's really rocking. You can see the look on his face.
You ready? You ready? Let's get it on. Come on.
Here's that next knee. Once again, lands flush.
Back inside the octagon now. Castillo. Nice leg kick by Manet. Another one.
And those welts are really coming up, and he's starting to hobble a little bit there. You can see it. They're going to make a big difference. He's going to get punished if this keeps on happening.
2:16 remains in round number 4.
Castillo showing a lot of signs of damage. You can see the swelling starting to fester up underneath that left.
Oh, there's a left by Castillo. But Manet comes right at him. And more knees from Dave Manet as Castillo drives him into the octagon fencing.
And he's still got that tight clinch. Even though he's pushed up against the fence, he's got those elbows in. Oh, and Gil's dropped below it. He's turning off.
He's trying to suck those legs out from underneath Manet.
Manet's got one underhook, which is stopping Gil from getting down and grabbing those legs. They're pulling on a body lock and turning him off the fence and taking him down.
From November '93 with Hoist Gracie at McNichols Arena in Denver to now a great stage, Las Vegas, Nevada. In the year 2001, and a Gracie student trying to survive against the warrior Dave Manet for the middleweight belt of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Castillo down, wants the legs of Manet. Can he bring him down? He can. What will he do from here, though, is the question. What can he do from here, though, is the more pointed point.
The difficulty here is Dave has his head, and he needs to pass, which he just has to position so he can remain in that position. Dave was lucky and he got the restart, which is where he wanted to be, and he was able to rock Gil with a couple of great shots when he tried to come in.
So what was a point advantage to Castillo was a point of production for Dave Manet, and he really had Castillo in trouble at the end of the round. These guys have battled already 20 minutes.
You ready?
The heart these guys are showing is that neither of them wants to stop or give up.
This is for the gold. Look at that.
And look at the respect.
How good is this? This is why this sport is only going to continue to explode.
Up until both these guys have just proven that they belong here in this title match.
Nice shoot by Castillo. He has that leg trap. Manet, unbelievable defense on Castillo. He is still working for it. He's got the left leg of Manet hooked.
Looking for a single leg. I don't think he can get around for a high crotch, so he's probably going to have to try and switch that other hand underneath and look for a double it. There he goes.
The man who told me yesterday would not be here without the Gracie family, Gil Castillo, well adjusted to going a long time, and we can't reiterate enough. 5th and final round. These competitors have gone toe-to-toe for almost 21 minutes.
And they haven't stopped yet.
An incredible war thus far, and this is a new weight division. Many guys looking at these two. Ricardo Almeida, Matt Lindland, many people looking to get in this division and see what comes out about this.
185 is the top weight you can be in the middleweight. You have to come in a little bit under it, and this is why we have a belt on the line tonight for the vacant middleweight title. But one of these two great fighters is going to wear that belt and take it outside of the octagon, perhaps in the next 3 minutes and 34 seconds.
Castillo is leaving that head open again right there.
And Dave is throwing those knees. Oh. He's dropping down for that single leg, but I think he's stuck. He's stuck in that position. He's not going to get that leg until he gets that arm or head out.
For Castillo to pull that leg out, as he does right here, he had to worry about taking punishment. And look at Manet's defense. As Castillo trying to use all his power to bring Manet down.
Castillo expending a lot of energy there. That is going to play a major factor as Manet wants to keep it standing. And obviously, Castillo wants to get it to the ground. He may be having some problems with that throwing eye.
And there he is looking for that other leg. Yep, he's trying to reach through so he can grab and pull that other leg in and get that double leg takedown.
And you saw the class shown by these two fighters, especially at the beginning of round 5. You're looking at a man in Gil Castillo who owns his own business as a financial manager, does this because he loves the sport, and a young man in Dave Manet, who I mentioned earlier, reads classic literature. They are so well-rounded not only as fighters, but as people. The gentlemen who represent mixed martial arts in this century, in this year, 2001.
You won't find these guys brawling in a bar. You find them training full time. This is where the sport's evolved. This is where the sport is now, the new UFC, as Castillo falls to guard, working for the sweep.
Trying to reverse it there.
Manet trying to load some rights, and he does. 1, 2, 3 rights to Gil Castillo.
Finally, they landed on the side of the head. Gil was able to get his shoulder up and block those, so they weren't as damaging as they could have been.
Keep in mind again, Gil Castillo has never lost in mixed martial arts. He is 16-0.
But when you fight the best people in the world, you always take that risk. Eventually, that loss would come.
Could it be here tonight at the hands of Dave Manet? Or can Castillo reverse things here in the next 90 seconds, the final 90 seconds of our middleweight championship fight?
Manet is trying to get his right leg through to pass that guard, but those elbows are very effective. Keep in mind that cut is on the left eye. Manet is working it. Very strategic, and that one hurt.
He's using this move where he puts pressure.
They're back up.
They're back on their feet.
1:10 remains. Castillo looks wobbly.
He definitely looks wobbly there. His hands are low.
Oh, the big knee!
He's going to keep looking for those knees. They have been so effective all night. He would be crazy not to use them.
A little under 1 minute left here. Castillo.
Come on.
Showing signs of fatigue, but he drops down for that single leg.
No, he's going for the double leg.
Elvis, we see this again, and he can't get it again. Or can he? Why can't he get it? There it finally does. But why did it take so long?
Dave's sprawling really well, and he's actually using the fence. He's bracing his feet against the bottom of the fence and dropping his hips, which is making it hard for Gil to pull him out.
25 seconds. What can Castillo do here?
He's going to have to be busy. He's got to finish this round dominantly. There's not much time left.
Both said they could go 25 minutes, and it appears at this point that they are going to do so as the final 10 seconds of this final round sound.
Manet is gassed. Castillo gets the final right in, and we will go to the judges' card. They are on their feet again here in Mandalay Bay.
These guys have earned a standing ovation.
For those who have been away for a number of years, welcome back to the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
This is the new sport of mixed martial arts.
Let's go to the replay, guys. We're going to take a look at some of those knees from Manet. I think those are going to be a deciding factor. Nice one to the stomach. Castillo taking another one to the face. One more to the forehead. That may have opened Castillo a little more. Nice barrage of shots and knees from Dave Manet.
The premier boxing destination in this great country, hosting tonight a great night of entertainment for fight fans around the world. The greatest event in mixed martial arts. The judges have rendered a decision. Who will be the middleweight champion? Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of pure UFC action, the judges have reached a unanimous decision for the winner and new UFC middleweight champion of the world, Dave the Warrior Manet. Let's have a big hand for Mr. Gil Castillo.
Unanimous decision. All right. For Dave Manet, Ryan Bennett is is going to grab.
All right, Dave, we got him right here, the new champ. And Dave, I tell you what, interesting fight. The first couple rounds, you really grappled, and then the third, fourth, and fifth round, you start striking very well. Was that the game plan?
Usually, you're going against a guy you don't know much about. Well, that's nice.
Check out that belt. How's that make you feel?
Feels very nice. It's been a long time coming. Years and years of fighting and years of not getting recognition, beating the best people in the world again and again when I'm not supposed to be able to do it, and finally get the belt in the U.S. Right back on cable, and obviously it's an honor to fight in Mandalay Bay and have the new belt under the new owners. It's what I've always been working for.
You're the champ. Who are some of the guys now you're going to have to defend against?
Yeah, who are some of the guys? Well, I've heard rumors again about Shamrock coming back in. I don't know about that. Pele Landy. There's tough wrestlers. I haven't heard any word on the next match. Obviously, I hadn't won the belt yet, so.
Okay. All right, well, you are the champ. Congratulations, Dave Manabe, your new champion. Back to you guys at ringside.
What a moment for Dave Manabe, as he is our middleweight champion. And congratulations goes to the Minnesota native. With a great start like that, why not just continue and get right to our next matchup? Welterweights, Matt the Terror Serra against Yves Edwards, who makes his UFC debut.
My name is Matt the Terror Serra, 27 years old, fighting out of Long Island, New York. I'm a Renzo Gracie black belt, and I'm a jiu-jitsu world champion. I'm a fast-paced, aggressive fighter. Tonight, I'll do the finishing.
My name is Yves Edwards, 24 years old, originally from the Bahamas. Now I'm fighting out of the Woodlands, Texas. I'm a UFC rookie, but I fought all over the world in all different types of competition. I've always wanted to fight in the UFC, and this is my dream come true. I'm going to make my debut something special.
I'm psyched to get back in the octagon. I can't wait for this fight.
Matt Serra's a tough guy, but I know he can't stand up with me.
If it goes to the ground, he's in a lot of trouble.
The fight starts standing, and he's going to have to come to me, and I'm looking to knock him out.
He could look all he wants. He's still going to get tapped out.
Coming up next, Yves Edwards versus Matt Serra. So it's a welterweight matchup between the 27-year-old Matt Serra and the newcomer at 24 years old, Yves Edwards. A height advantage for Edwards, which means a reach advantage. And watch for the uppercuts. Our referee, Mario Yamasaki.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Here we go. Matt Serra, Yves Edwards.
Talk about two extremes. Serra, a master grappler. Yves Edwards, a devastating stand-up. That is not a way you want to shoot against Edwards if he gets that clinch. And he does so. But good job by Matt Serra. Pulls to guard and has Yves Edwards where he wants to be.
Oh, he's looking for a leg lock. He's looking for a leg lock here. You got to watch that ankle. Here it comes.
Oh, the right connects to Edwards. Serra stays so busy, Elvis.
Absolutely. He knows that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters are known for holding on for the win, and he says he does not want to be known for that. He wants a submission, and he's going for that ankle. Yves could be in a lot of trouble if he sinks that in.
Remember, at UFC 31, Serra really was in control of his fight against Shoney Carter before Carter in the third round hit him with that spinning fist, that back fist. Just 9 seconds remaining and knocked him out, and he was really disappointed that that happened because he was in control. He was going to win the match.
Absolutely. Serra was saying he doesn't want to make excuses, but he was just coming off a recent victory against Jean-Jacques, and he was just happy, excited to be in the UFC. And he feels now he's even more focused than he was before.
Nice job of Edwards spinning out of the attempted submission of Matt Serra.
I would venture to say that Matt Serra is the real deal as far as American guys training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is a black belt under Renzo. He had tapped out many guys in the ADCC World Submission Wrestling Championships, and there you see him working that right leg down on Yves Edwards' thigh. He's going to try to shoot that other leg through and get the mount on Edwards and look for that submission.
To take that a bit further, Jeff, he is the first American black belt under Renzo Gracie, which is a heck of an honor in that great and traditional sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazil basically came to him when Gracie moved to New York and started teaching in the mid-90s.
These two guys look extremely calm in there. Edwards, he says he's comfortable on his back. You got to give the edge to Matt Serra. Sarah, on the other hand, you'll see him throw a shot. He'll make a quick move to a submission. If he can't get the submission, he'll switch it up again and go for something else.
I see a bit of blood over Eve's left eye. I'm not sure if that is coming from Matt or from Eve himself.
Looks like it's from Eve. From my vantage point here, I can see the eye of Eve Edwards, Elvis, and it looks to be he who is bleeding. Don't forget, dial in on the internet, UFC.tv, for all the great information on the Ultimate Fighting Championship. All new merchandise, new videos have been released of our recent great matchups in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and at the Meadowlands, www.ufc.tv. Sarah looking for a choke, huh?
He just switched his hips out to get into the side control, and from here he's going to look for a more dominant position to set up a submission. There's the arm.
Man, his cat-like reflexes are unbelievable.
He's not afraid to go for submission because he knows if he misses it, he can still regain his control.
Sarah said in his pre-fight quotes that this fight would not go the distance. He wants to take it and take it quickly to Eve Edwards.
He wants the submission. Oh, he could be going for Eve's back. Eve could be in trouble here if he gets that.
You see if he's got one hand over the back, under the back rather.
He's trying to switch his hips back so he can get past that left arm of Eve. Once he does that, he's going to go for the back and sit those hooks, and Eve could be in a lot of trouble.
Look at this, Edwards back on his feet.
And he smiles as he stands up. And now he's ready to go. I love that. Eve Edwards with a big smile on his face, Jeff, as he stood up, and now he shakes his hand and he says, come on, let's get it on.
Don't exchange high kicks with Eve Edwards. I've seen many guys pay the price and end up face down on the mat. That's not where Sarah wants to be.
Matt's doing a smart game. He's moving backwards, which is making Eve chase him. If Eve chases him, he is risking the takedown.
Watch out for those uppercuts.
There it is. He got him with the uppercut. Well timed, Jeff.
And how's this for a change? Edwards almost getting the back of Matt Sarah.
There's the uppercut we advertised earlier. And Edwards also devastating with his knees.
Get that hand back up again, which is good. He obviously wasn't rocked too badly.
Look at, he's shooting in again. There's the clinch. Eve Edwards moves to the side.
Knee. Yeah, a couple of big knees to the midsection. And a left knee. And Sarah brings his opponent down.
He's looking for that armbar.
And the first round closes with an absolute flurry.
Awesome first round. We told you we had the two extremes. One extreme grappler, one extreme striker, and they are colliding here tonight at UFC.
They are putting on an absolute show. Sarah with his submission and Eve with his strikes. And you could see at the end of the round there that he did the traditional jump to guard that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is renowned for.
Take a look at one of these knees here. Wow, there is the knee. That looked like it may have wobbled Sarah.
Now the uppercut. Bam! He caught him there.
The opponent, and it's a different intensity. And Edwards pressing the action. He's pressing forward. Now he backs off.
Well, Sarah pressed it all in the first round, especially early. And since that point, Edwards has delivered some shots, and that uppercut may have been, our turning point of this match thus far. 2:47 remains in round number 2. Second of 3 scheduled rounds of 5 minutes in duration here in a non-championship fight in the UFC.
Sarah not as eager to...
but he drives in. He's not, is he?
He's going to either look for that underhook. If he can't get it, he may pull to guard here. He does not want to give Eve room to throw those knees like we saw earlier in the night with Dave Monet.
He took that one shot. He may be having second thoughts of getting too close to Edwards. Now he's got him tied up.
I thought he may have been going for a rolling knee bar. He looked like he was setting it up, but he's changed his mind.
Watch for this outside knee from Eve Edwards. Sarah, there it is. And Sarah wobbled a little bit, and there you see Edwards working the arms through. He's going for that clinch. Nice one to the midsection.
And down goes Edwards, and this time he may stay there for a little while.
Absolutely, Sarah's going to be a little bit more patient. He's going to work that right leg out so he can get past Eve's half guard. And that's when he becomes dangerous. He's switching his hips. Here it comes. He's out.
You have it. Look at that now, man. You have it, everything.
A double underhook.
That side mount.
This is a dangerous position for Eve to be in. Let's see what Matt does with it.
And Matt has time to work with 120 remaining in the round.
Matt.
You'll see Matt Serra look to his corner often for advice.
I think, oh no, he's let that left arm go. I thought he was looking for an arm bar on that left arm. He may still be. He may still be here.
Looks for the advice of Henry.
Oh, there's the back. He's going for the back.
Can he get it? Serra trying to work the submission.
And he's got, Eve's defending well. Can he get that arm through?
He's got 56 seconds to finish Edwards.
And Edwards going for that. He's got to get that forearm under Eve's chin. And Eve knows that. He's not letting that arm get there.
Nice forearm shot to the back.
Yep, can't go to the back of the head, but you can go to the back.
I think we've got the choke.
Does he have it landed this time?
The chin is in. Eve's chin is in, but he can still get a chin lock from there.
There you go. He got the chin through. Remain patient. 25 seconds now.
Serra has got the hooks in. He has Edwards where he wants him. Whether or not he
does not have
a nice escape.
Is he going to go for the arm? But no.
10 seconds. Edwards wants to tee up.
Triangle, and Eve's going to back off.
Nice job done by Eve Edwards.
And the round is over.
Wow. How close was this fight to being over?
I think you'd have to give that round to Serra.
Did you see how you got him?
That was an incredible display of jiu-jitsu and defense of an attempted submission.
Let's take a look at one of the replays here. You see Serra has those hooks in. Watch Edwards swivel around. Beautiful escape for Eve Edwards, and he is out of danger.
Let's check in with our own Ryan Bennett.
I probably got the toughest job right now. Carmen Electra joins me right now. Carmen, talk about how exciting it's been for you to be the spokesperson for UFC.
I'm very excited. It's been fun. I mean, I get to go to the fights and get a front row seat, and just sort of hanging out with the fighters and going to these fights, you realize how intense it is. These guys are true athletes. They study many forms of martial arts, and you can obviously see that in the ring. It's almost like a guilty pleasure for me. You know, it's kind of hard to watch at certain points, but then you really get into it. I think this is really going to be an up-and-coming sport.
All right, we'll talk with you guys more in a few minutes. Let's get back to the action with Mike.
Here we go. Get the round started here. Round number 3. Serra and Edwards in the welterweight division. We thank Ms. Carmen Electra for her time and for her presence in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
There's that clinch once again.
He's throwing those shoots, and now he's here at the start of the round. So he's got 4.5 minutes to work what he needs to do.
Took him a long time to be successful with bringing Edwards down in round 2. He does it within the first 30 seconds of round 3. And he had Edwards in trouble.
I think he realized that it was foolish to try and trade with Edwards, so he just went straight for the takedown. And he's passing, he's almost got one leg out. No, he's got a hook in.
Come on, keep on moving, keep on moving.
He's going to try and reverse Serra.
You know, there's so much stress on being multi-dimensional in this sport nowadays that some fighters will get away from what they're best at. Serra may have done that for a bit of time, Elvis, and now he's back to what he's best at, and that is submissions and jiu-jitsu.
He's got to get that right leg in to get both hooks in so he can control. Hey, without those legs in, he can't break him down and go for those submissions.
Serra's got to watch his balance here. He's pushing his head high. Edwards could roll forward and scoot out the bottom. He doesn't have that other hook. He does have both hooks in.
He could be lucky that the fence is here, which may stop Serra from rolling forward.
Serra has him once again where he wants him. Got to capitalize, take advantage of having the back of Eve Edwards.
This is what jiu-jitsu specialists at times work what seems to be hours to get, and that is dominant control of their opponent. Serra had it late in round 2. He has it here, but can he finish the fight?
I see he's looking for a choke, but every now and then he's pulling that arm out, so he may roll into an arm bar, so be aware of that.
And look at this, on the feet in a different way.
Literally on the back of his opponent, Eve Edwards. Going for a ride and play into the crowd.
Normally in this position, you would never cross your ankles while on the ground. but standing, you have to do it so you don't slide off.
What can Edwards do here to gain control, Jeff?
He has got to relinquish those hooks. If Matt has those hooks in there, and there he goes. He's trying to get that hook off. Look at him and scooping down, working his hips out of the hooks. He has Serra pinned up against the fence.
And now he's trying to deliver strikes.
And look at that.
Serra's pulling to guard. He's going to go back to the traditional jiu-jitsu guard and look for a submission from there. It is safer than trying to get back to the feet and go for another takedown.
Now, I've said this before, 98% of these fights go to the ground, but they all start standing up. Edwards had his opportunity. I think he's looking for another one. If he can break those legs loose, stand right back up, Serra will have to play his.
Serra is looking for that arm. He's going to go for a triangle or an arm bar. And Eve is going to look to back out.
Look at that.
These two guys are making it very tough on our judges. Very tough. And that's the way we like it. Edwards. Oh, just missed the uppercut.
Look for the knee.
There it is. Serra left himself trying to bring his opponent down wide open to that knee. Left himself very vulnerable.
He has that single leg.
Got to keep spinning to get that.
Look at Edwards. He's got the legs too high.
The fence is working to the advantage of Edwards here because Serra can't bring him down.
He's used it beautifully in many different positions. And he had his back, standing up, and on the takedown.
A close guard right now. And 49 seconds remains.
Serra needs to open up here, throw a few more strikes to get Eve defending so he can pass that guard. He's taking too long to pass the guard with the amount of time we have left. He's not going to get that unless he throws more shots.
We are in Vegas. This is a punching town. Many great boxing fights have happened. Will they look at the boxing? Will they look at Serra's takedowns and submission attempts? In some sports, the submission attempts are equal to a knockdown in boxing.
15 seconds remains.
In this sport, a finish is a finish, whether it's a submission or a KO.
Absolutely.
10 seconds left, it's yours. 10 seconds left, brother.
Edwards throwing that right elbow, trying to distance himself.
And they're the shots we were talking about. That
and look at that. Eve Edwards, in the closing of the round, went for the triangle.
We will render another judge's decision. Matt the Terror Serra and Eve Edwards have the crowd on their feet again.
This is a very close match. Who do you favor, Jeff?
I am not sure. You could have given the first two rounds, split them up, and that third round, again, you got to wonder if they're going to look at Edwards standing up out of the guard, Serra taking him down, and in the closing seconds, Eve Edwards going for a submission.
I feel with that middle round, which I felt was dominantly Serra, and the other two rounds being close, that Serra has got the advantage in this decision. We'll see what the judges think.
So Serra, who was, as he described, dominant in his matchup until the surprising end in his loss to Shoney Carter, feels he was dominant enough here to pose for the cameras and hope for a decision that would up his mixed martial arts record to 9-1 and even him at 500 in his UFC career.
Never want to leave it up to the judges.
And I think the fighters know that.
That's a bad job, my man.
Serra wants to be remembered as a fighter who brings the fight to the opposition. He wants to come in there and win, not go for a decision, but it's happened.
Let's take a look at a replay here. Here's another nice uppercut. Serra wobbled there, but as we said, he recovered nicely. You got to give him credit for that.
We have a decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, the judges have the winner by majority decision. For the winner, Matt the Terror Serra.
So it was indeed close, and Matt Serra wins by majority decision over Eve Edwards. Set for a lightweight matchup. between Fabiano Iha and Dean Thomas. UFC 33, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Fabiano Iha, Dean Thomas, both coming off losses.
My name is Dean Thomas. They call me the Dominator. 25 years old. I'm fighting out of Orlando, Florida. I fought BJ Penn last June. I got caught. It'll never happen again. Tonight, the UFC will see the real Dean Thomas.
My name is Fabiano Iha. I'm 30 years old, fighting from Team Punishment from Huntington Beach, California. I fought in the UFC 6 times. I won twice by armbar and one by TKO. I need to win this fight tonight.
My last fight was a fluke. I'm gonna prove that tonight.
Hey Dean, you better watch out for armbar.
I'm gonna take out my frustrations on Fabiano Iha.
Tail of the tape for the lightweight matchup. A jiu-jitsu specialist against Dean Thomas, who knows some Vale Tudo plus many other disciplines. 5 years different, but the height and the weight will not be a factor. I can tell you one thing, things may happen quickly with both of these very great fighters. Big John McCarthy talking to Fabiano Iha, and I remind all of our viewers that failure is the greatest time of learning or the time in which you quit. So let's see what happens to these two guys tonight. Big John's ready to get it going. Here we go, Dean Thomas, Fabiano Iha, and we are underway.
We're going to take a look, see how Fabiano's stand-up's going to work against Thomas. Keep in mind that reach is going to play a factor here.
You can see he's keeping distance. He's not getting too close.
Oh, a right connects quickly. There's that reach, guys, right off the bat. Fabiano's got to distance himself up, doesn't he, Elvis?
Absolutely. He's using his leg kicks to keep distance, but maybe Dean's reach may be too much for that.
What he wants to do is time for that first opportunity to try to bring this to the mat, because we know Fabiano is more comfortable down low, although we've talked about his improved stand-up. I think Thomas has the edge in the striking department. And he shows it there with a left and right combination on Iha. Now tries to get the knees in. A right and a left.
To the takedown. Dean's got underhooks. He's sprawling on it. You see what happens here.
Good defense by Dean Thomas. He caught Iha with a couple of shots. He went for the tie clinch, got a knee in there. Now Iha has him on the fence.
And you can see he's not going to let go. He's putting pressure forward on Dean, so Dean can't use his effective reach.
What's going to happen is each time Fabiano tries to bring Dean down, he's going to incur some punishment doing it, isn't he?
Absolutely. He's going to try and sprawl and then hit Fabiano as he pulls out.
So Thomas with a good flurry here to begin the first of 3 5-minute rounds. What a lightweight matchup between Iha and Thomas.
Look at Thomas, there's the clinch once again. Iha able to suck that right leg in. He's got the leg. Can he get Thomas down?
Oh, he's spinning.
And there he does. So Fabiano Iha is able to bring Dean Thomas down, and Thomas closes the guard, now opens it again.
This should be interesting. Dean's put Fabiano in the guard, and you'd think Fabiano, being a jiu-jitsu specialist, would be comfortable there.
This is where Fabiano was last time. He got caught with the shots by Uno. And there's the triangle. Dean Thomas unable to get it, and Iha passes the guard and gets to the side. There's the arm.
Looking for it again. Fabiano Iha's specialty is the armbar. He has won 9 of his 12 mixed martial arts matches via the armbar. And his most recent victories in the UFC have come with the armbar. Phil Jones and Takashi. And he's still trying to work on that limb of Dean Thomas. Fabiano Iha trying to sink it in.
Trying to lock those legs so he can pull Dean's head in. He's switching to a shoulder lock. Can Dean pull out? Dean needs to roll out of that. If he doesn't roll, he could be in trouble.
He's turned his arm. He is still in some danger there. Iha being very relaxed. Thomas escapes.
Nicely done. Oh my.
Fabiano's starting to look a little tired here. This could be bad for him.
Back to square one, back on the feet. This is where Thomas wants to be. There's the right. Iha.
Combinations. And he ducks under Iha's return. There's a right that glances on Iha. So Thomas is working on Iha, looking for some ground and pound.
Oh, and he's managed to reverse that with the sweep, but they're back to their feet.
Nice underhooks by Dean Thomas. He is neutralizing Iha's takedown. There's the clinch. Iha needs
a big knee. A big knee gets Fabiano Iha.
Fabiano switching back to the guard. He will be looking for that armbar now.
You don't want to...
Oh, he's looking for the triangle. He hasn't managed to get it.
Look for big strikes.
It's that long reach of Dean coming into play again.
Now
watch for that some more.
That's the one thing we said he had a huge advantage in. Does he have to be careful here throwing the arm?
He's looking for the leg lock.
Does he get his back? No, Fabiano spins through. There's a left and another left to Iha. And Thomas has control. Iha is really taking some punishment here.
He's landing those right hands.
Oh,
He's got
a big
such a
left
long
there.
reach.
He has got
There's a right. And a knee to Iha. And another combination. Iha is in trouble.
He's taking some damage there up against the fence.
Iha is clinched again. He has to defend that. He is absorbing too many shots. He has got to get out of there.
He's taking a lot of knees and punches there. Oh, the uppercut's coming into play.
Now Iha tries to return the favor and misses on a combination.
A lot riding on this, guys. Both of them have got something to prove coming off of a loss.
Dean needs to keep the pressure on here because you can tell by the looping punches that Iha is starting to get tired.
22 seconds remaining in round number 1, Elvis, and I think Fabiano Iha just wants to remain alive here in round number 1 because he was almost knocked down a moment ago. There's a combination by Iha. So he's starting to throw some punches here late in the round, but a round clearly dominated by Dean Thomas.
Oh, there's a nice
Oh, he's returning those uppercuts.
Oh, and another one. Oh, my. Did I speak too early? As Fabiano Iha finishes round 1 with a big flurry.
He's landed some good shots, but did those earlier shots he land cause too much damage?
What a first round here in Vegas tonight for these guys. I tell you, some heavy hitting action right there.
Both these guys said they were going to come out with something to prove, and I think they've done that.
Let's take a look at some of these shots here. Iha, there's a big one landing on the ground as Iha was trying to work for that leg. There you see him, he rolls over, but he did take quite a few shots.
And here we have Iha, he's looking for that arm bar. He's searching for that arm. And Dean has beautifully spun out and escaped. And here Fabiano needs to pull Dean's head down so he can control and pull in an arm bar. And you'll watch as he pulls out, Fabiano is going to switch to a shoulder lock. But Dean was still able to avoid that submission.
Wow, what an action-packed round number 1 between Fabiano Iha and Dean Thomas.
Hey, we're ready to go again.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on. Come on.
Here we go, round 2. Iha flies ahead with the right hand.
He's trying to put some pressure on Dean.
Fabiano has been working his boxing with Don House, who also trains Tito Ortiz in the boxing. House also trained Derek Harmon, who fought Roy Jones Jr. So Fabiano's striking is something he has certainly been concentrating on, especially coming into this fight.
He's also really been using those leg kicks. They could really make a difference later on in the fight.
The thing I worry about most is Iha is that he's dropped so much weight, fighting in a lower weight division. And here the two clinch up once again as Iha pinned up against the fence. Neither of these guys going to be able to work from here. They've got to get away from that fence.
Jeff, this is the second time that Fabiano Iha has fought at this weight at 155. His debut in the lightweight classification of the UFC was against Carl Uno, and that was when he lost his fight in the Meadowlands.
They're trading some nice punches and up knees. Oh, a nice flurry by Iha as Dean pulled out.
So Iha showing the ability to throw with Dean Thomas.
You watch Iha, he's going to throw some punches and then he's going to back off to make Dean chase him. And that's when he's going to go for the takedown.
Does Iha have to worry when he throws about Thomas shooting in? It doesn't appear so.
There's the knee.
Oh,
but the knee again is big. And there is Fabiano Iha tying up the legs and taking his opportunity to bring this fight back down.
He's put him on his back and Dean has got him in guard. Let's see what happens here.
Got that
Iha is here. He's going to use the fence here so he can try and put some punishment onto Dean. Because when he's up against the fence, it's very hard to get the distance to defend from those punches.
Now, Dean cannot grab and hold on to the fence, but he can push off it with his body, which is what he's tried to do to alleviate the problem that you just talked about, Elvis. The fact he can't avoid Fabiano Iha when he's tied up in this position.
Absolutely.
Thomas appears to have a little bit of swelling on that left eye, I believe. There's some, may have a slight cut, nothing major.
I'll tell you what, there was
Both guys are looking tired.
thrown in the first round, and the pace is slowed just a little bit.
And picks it up, and he's past the guard.
He's got the side mount, he's working the right hand.
Thomas trying to stand up. He's got to get out of the side mount, but he is trapped against the fence. Nice, got the hips through, and he is back at guard once again, getting out of the danger of the side control of Iha.
Well, the side control was taken advantage of, Elvis, because Iha got there, didn't stay there long, but delivered 2 big right hands in the process.
Absolutely. He's going to hit Dean to try and make him do something silly and then try and grab an arm.
Iha has been working with Tito Ortiz and the guys in his camp, and he certainly has shown great confidence here in round 2. Now part of team punishment, which is new since the last time we saw it.
You can see both guys have run out of energy. Here it's going to see who can get their second win first. That's going to be the deciding factor for this round.
And Jeff, you brought up the fact that Fabiano is down in weight from his previous performances. Sometimes that takes a toll on the body.
Gotta fight.
One thing, Iha's in great shape, but your body does not always jump right back when you're working out at a much lower weight.
Right, when you dehydrate to lose that weight to make the weight division, it does take a lot out of you, regardless of what anyone thinks. And Iha doing a good job here in the second round. He got Dean Thomas to the ground.
Get some action. Come on.
He is working there. I think both guys are resting a little. There you see Iha pulling him away from the fence now. Possibly a different strategy to create an opening.
Well, the Dominator is not dominating here in round number 2. Dean Thomas, he was coming off his loss to BJ Penn with that big knee and referee stoppage at UFC 32. Both are right back, both coming off losses. Both know they need this fight desperately.
Both went in that title picture with Jens Pulver. And, you know, this is a stacked weight division, and both it's a do-or-die situation for these guys, both coming off the losses last time. And one of these guys will advance and move up in the rankings, so to speak.
Okay, we see the end of the round coming, so we're going to see who's going to step up here and finish more dominantly and aggressively. And you can see Dean's trying to get the feet into Iha's hips to keep him away.
First 30, last 30 seconds of each round, and there's a shot from Thomas that landed. Now Iha has to be careful.
Iha's playing the smart game, not putting his head down there.
Has Iha done enough that he's already won this round?
You never can tell. You never want to leave this up to the judges.
There were some very punishing blows by Dean at the start of the round.
Yep.
He may have controlled a lot of the end of the round, but nothing as dominating as maybe as those strikes earlier on.
So Dean Thomas on his back a lot more than I think we anticipated in this fight so far, with Iha working on top, being a jiu-jitsu guy who was often on his backside.
Dean has shown, though, that he's not uncomfortable on his back, though. With Iha, the jiu-jitsu specialist, he's managed to hold his defensive aim.
Here's that flying right by Iha. You see it connected. Thomas backed off of that.
Okay, we're watching here. He gets a tight clinch and goes for that big knee.
It's certainly been the
and there's another one. That one's clipped his chin, but Iha's managed to keep his head and drop down for the takedown.
Yeah, certainly the knees of Thomas have scored, and Iha has done a nice job working either in the guard or passing guard of Dean Thomas, who once was quoted as saying in a past life, "I must have been a gladiator. I must have been like the black dude in the movie Gladiator." You know Russell Crowe's sidekick.
Absolutely. Both these guys are showing that they're warriors and gladiators tonight.
You ready? Last round. Let's
Dean told me yesterday he's never been more ready. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, it comes down to 5 minutes. Who's going to move on? Is it going to be Dean Thomas or Jens Pulver to move on and move up in the lightweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship?
Iha's using those peak kicks to keep distance.
Iha swinging wildly. And there's a left jab. Iha shoots, and Dean Thomas
Dean is sprawling nicely.
Oh, good uppercuts by Thomas.
He is landing some telling blows here.
Lefts and rights connecting with the chin of Fabiano Iha.
But Iha seems to be keeping the pressure on, and he's pushing up against the fence. He's going to be looking for a takedown here. He may even pull to guard at this point.
Yeah, he connected that time, did Dean Thomas.
He's got overhook, so I wouldn't be surprised if he would go to guard and look for an armbar.
Get your fingers out of there. Let's go.
Big John McCarthy makes sure that neither fighter uses the fence by holding it to make that fence an advantage.
Iha needs to get off that fence, and Dean needs to keep him there and throw punishing blows.
Dean's got him in a bad position. He just needs to take advantage of it, and he is right here.
Here he goes.
There's another one with a combination.
He's making room to get his elbows in the inside to keep pressure on Hee-Haw so he can throw those knees, uppercuts, and hooks.
Both of them exchanging uppercuts there. They're both trying to better their position. As we said in the past, you can't do much up against the fence. There's a nice shot by Dean Thomas.
So Thomas with the left, and Fabiano Hee-Haw trying to work the uppercuts.
Both throwing shots here. Good to see both are staying busy at this point. I would say Dean with the slight advantage at this moment. He's been throwing more effective shots.
Dean Thomas, the former rap star, the former singer, and he brought his flavor to the octagon after a very, very impressive start to his mixed martial arts career. And he has got all he can handle tonight in Fabiano Hee-Haw and vice versa. Hee-Haw trying to move his record off of 500 to the positive side. He is 3-3 in the UFC. 2:53 now, guys, remains in the third and final round.
You see Dean, he'll scoot those hips out. That gives you a hint when that uppercut's coming. That one barely missed. He is,
those are landing.
Those are landing. Just glances the left side of the chin on Hee-Haw, but that one gets him. You can see the head pop up when they connect.
You can see Hee-Haw's trying to turn off the fence, but Dean keeps adjusting and pushing him into it, keeping the control and then throwing those shots.
The knee again. Dean Thomas really uses the knees very well.
Yeah, he has thus far. Watch as he'll get that distance there, throw an uppercut or work that knee in. Hee-Haw firing back some of his own.
Getting another wind here.
You know, we talked about the long reach of Dean Thomas. It's not just his arms, guys. You can see his frame is very short. His legs are very long also. And with Hee-Haw coming in at only 5'8", he doesn't have to bring those knees up very high.
Guys, get it out.
No, he's using those to great effect in this match.
Thomas doing a good job here in the first couple of minutes of round number 3.
Now the tide is turned, and Hee-Haw,
he will be looking for a takedown here.
If he takes Dean Thomas down, I wonder, with 140 remaining, if Dean Thomas will be able to get back up before the end of this fight.
This third round is going to be a big factor because the second round, you don't know who got that. And now Dean Thomas asking how much time is left in this final round. Both men showing a little bit of fatigue here.
Don't leave it to a judge.
Fabiano's going to have to make a move here, guys.
He's been pinned up against that fence for almost this entire round.
Dean has been playing the more effective shots here, landing a lot of those uppercuts and knees.
Hee-Haw has the underhooks. Now he reverses the position. He needs to scoop a leg up close to the fence there and try to get that last takedown. Maybe to close out the last final seconds of this final round here on the judges' card.
Yeah, he's looking towards his corner to see the time on the clock. I think that's exactly what he is going to attempt to do. But Thomas wants to leave that final impression in the judges' minds also.
I think Thomas wanted to get this, if it did go to the ground. And there's a sweep.
Yeah, but he's pacing himself here. Now he's on his back, half guard.
Dean needs to throw some shots.
Yep.
Fabiano needs to recover that guard so he can go for a submission.
If Dean can stay busy here, he may be able to leave an indelible impression in the judges' minds.
Well, I think he's already ahead this round. And if he can finish the fight, that may be enough to wrap it up for him.
First time jitters, maybe last time, never more. 6 seconds left, Dean Thomas on top. And this one is going to go to the judges' cards. A lightweight matchup between Dean Thomas and Fabiano Hee-Haw.
With Dean throwing the last few shots of the round.
Great sportsmanship. Both of these guys are truly class acts.
What's that?
But unfortunately, only one's going to go home with the W tonight.
Both need it. We'll see who gets it.
Fabiano really withstood some punishment in the first round, but delivered some to the body of Dean Thomas in the second round. And so our judges will render a decision, and the uppercuts were so effective in this fight.
Let's take a look at some of these shots here. You see him. There's a nice one that glanced Hee-Haw. That one not scoring. There's a nice one there as he worked him up against the fence. But Hee-Haw, you know, in his defense, he came back and threw some of his own.
Considering the length of Dean's arms, he has really used those uppercuts in close very well.
So the judges will render a decision to see who moves up the rankings in the lightweight division, as Fabiano Iha hopes to go to 4-3, and Dean Thomas hopes to even his record at 1-1 on this, his 25th birthday. And talking to Dean Thomas yesterday, he said, I just want to win for my birthday. It'd be the greatest gift anyone has ever given me in his life.
Another factor about Dean Thomas, he has beat the UFC champion in Jens Fulber, and he would like to get that match here in the octagon once again.
Yes, he caught Jens with a beautiful reverse heel hook, which I think caught him very much by surprise.
Now there's a couple great fighters. Carlos Newton, who will defend his title later this calendar year, and Pedro Hizzo has a rematch set for Randy Couture. Looks like we have our official decision. Let's go to the octagon here from Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, the judges have scored it with a unanimous decision. For the winner, Dean, the Dominator Thomas.
So Dean Thomas wins by unanimous decision over Fabiano Iha. Time for the welterweights to make their way into the world-famous octagon. Tony D'Souza will take on Jotaro Nakao, a UFC newcomer from Tokyo, Japan. D'Souza, originally from Peru, now lives here in Las Vegas.
I'm Tony D'Souza. I'm 27 years old. I'm originally from Peru, and I'm now living in Las Vegas. I'm undefeated in the UFC. I've won by decision and by tap out. Nakao is a very good and experienced fighter, but I'm ready.
My name is Jotaro Nakao. I fight for Shuto in Japan. I am expert of submission. I've beaten Pat Miletich and Lavan Clark.
Tony D'Souza versus Jotaro Nakao next. Tail of the tape, Nakao and D'Souza. In the welterweight division, 3 years older is Nakao from Japan. He is much shorter, and the weight is no advantage for either fighter. Our referee for this welterweight matchup, Mr. Mason White.
Right across there. You ready, Coach? The old man with the glasses.
You ready? Yeah. Come on.
Here we go, the welterweights, Nakao and D'Souza. Nakao in the black shorts, D'Souza, or pardon me, Nakao in the yellow shorts and D'Souza in the black shorts.
D'Souza here was saying that he wants to test his stand-up. He wants to test his punches and put Jotaro to the test.
Nakao is very good at neutralizing his opponent. He wants the fight to come to him. He is a passive fighter. He waits for his opponent to make that first move, and then he tries his best to capitalize on that move.
Now D'Souza, just the opposite. He is very aggressive, and he has been working his striking with Chuck Liddell, who is going to fight here tonight in Mandalay Bay and is as dangerous a striker as we have in this mixed martial arts game today.
Nakao landed a couple of leg kicks there.
There's another one that gets him.
And Nakao is well versed in judo. He also trained in the U.S. in judo, and he will look for an opening here. As you see him there going for that sweep, got the underhooks in on Tony D'Souza.
And what's really interesting here is Tony looks very relaxed. He's always very calm. He says he does this to test himself, and he wants to be able to take the same attitude here in the ring as he does walking down the street.
Now he certainly lives and breathes this sport. Was a wrestler for a long time. Told me yesterday he got way out of shape, and he decided if he was going to come back and wrestle and fight and play around with this mixed martial arts game, he was going to do it 100%, and that illustrates the point you brought up a moment ago, Elvis.
Big factor here, Hayato Sakurai of Japan. This guy is like the Michael Jordan, what Michael Jordan is to basketball. Sakurai is the mixed martial arts in Japan. He is in the corner of Jotaro Nakao, and we look forward to Sakurai possibly making his debut in the UFC. A good cornerman to have, one of the best fighters in the world.
How good would that be, as the great fighters being displayed here tonight, and it just gets better and better each time the all-new UFC takes to the octagon stage. And here, the largest stage ever, Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.
We see Jotaro here throwing short knees. What he's trying to do is spin Tony off the fence and try and get a sweep with the legs, hooking the leg and try and bring him down. You can see Tony there, he's sprawling every time he tries and throwing those short knees back.
Tony moved to the U.S. from Peru with his mother at 12 years old. Said it was a very rough transition because at that time, guys, he didn't speak any English. There's a different culture. Now he's talking to Mason White saying, you know what, if Nakau's going to hold me against the fence, he's got to try to stay a little busy.
Nakau's not a busy fighter. He's reactive. He's waiting for D'Souza, but D'Souza can't do anything there, so Nakau's got to go for that big throw. He has got to back up off the fence and try to work from the center of the ring.
So, Jeff, very differing styles and different approaches in these two fighters.
Right, D'Souza wants to get that takedown. Jotaro, he wants to be on his back. He's comfortable there. He's defeated two UFC veterans. Laverne Clark choked him out, choked Pat Miletich out, and he's a dangerous fighter despite that 10-7 record.
Tony wants to test his stand-up here. He's very aware of Jotaro's triangle. He says he's been watching it and training for it. We'll see just how prepared he is when it hits the ground.
Tony D'Souza looking into his corner. John Lewis, BJ Penn, part of his training team. And now he's starting to work a little bit with the hands.
He was trying to get his hands in earlier so he could get an underhook so he could work off the fence. But Jotaro wasn't letting him, so he needs to throw these small shots to upset Jotaro and give him room to get those hands in. There he goes. He's trying to drop that shoulder to get underneath.
Those shots won't really hurt him, but they'll get his attention, won't they?
Right, he's trying to create an opening, possibly work an arm through there. Nakau's got the underhooks in, and he's controlling this fight, although not much action happening here with both fighters' arms tied up.
You also have to realize those shots may not be knockout blows, but when you take 10, 15, 20 shots, they really you start to feel them, they start to wear.
So D'Souza still trying to work his way off the fence. And Nakau really not trying to apply any offense here in a position in which he clearly could.
D'Souza looking discouraged. He's kind of shaking his head like, I'm trapped here, I can't do anything, but he's not doing anything to me.
You'll notice Jotaro picked up that leg. He tried to hook the knee and spin off the fence. Here he's going for it again. He's going to hook that leg.
How does D'Souza attempt to get himself off the fence and into an offensive position?
He has got to get his arms out from underneath. He's currently got underhooks on him, and he needs to get at least one back so he can begin to apply his hips and push Jotaro away to either give him room for a takedown or to escape that position.
Final seconds of round number 1. A very frustrating round for Tony D'Souza.
And the crowd not liking this match, but in a moment's time it could turn either way, and we could have some excitement here. As we said, Nakau's going to be passive.
This time make him pay, right? Make him fucking pay. Now, you know you got a pretty good underhook. So you got a pretty good underhook, so you got to make sure you pummel this time. Don't let him get a nice solid underhook. All right? And if he fucking throws that kick, throw a left right down the middle.
Nothing seems to bother him.
Okay?
Tony enjoys the boxing part of it, but he certainly wasn't able to throw any in the first round.
Okay.
BJ Penn.
Don't let him fucking touch you this time without you making him fucking pay.
Baby J.
Fuck this guy up. This is your fucking future. Okay? I love you.
D'Souza's credit,
You're great.
some of the mixed martial
Fuck this kid up. Don't let him get a nice tight underhook, okay?
But he has more than proven himself, defeated Steve Berger, a Midwest star, and he also had a quick win over Paul Rodriguez, and here we are for the second round.
So Mason White ready to get the fighters going again, and let's see if it's a different approach here, trying to maybe stay in the middle of the ring for Tony D'Souza. The kicks aren't bad from Nakau, though. He caught the inside of the right leg in the first round. Now he catches the outside, and a big left, and down goes D'Souza. Nakau with a flurry. White steps in. D'Souza shaky leg, and it's over. It is over. Jotaro Nakau has knocked out Tony D'Souza.
Unbelievable. Nakau is not known for those hands. Caught me totally off guard, and this crowd disappointed that their local hero went down.
Not half as disappointed as Tony's. He wants to continue. Even though he was wobbling on those legs, he wanted to keep going.
D'Souza has the heart. Let's take a look at this once again. There's that kick. D'Souza trying to throw that left. And Nakau, bam! Left hook right on the button. D'Souza goes down. And a great job stopping this fight before any damage was done.
You could see as D'Souza got excited and started chasing, he started dropping his hands.
What did you say a moment ago, partner? You said it could change in a moment's notice. It changed in a split second.
Correct.
As Nakau victorious in his UFC debut and losing for the first time in the octagon, that man there, Tony D'Souza. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout at 15 seconds of the second round. Knockout.
15 seconds into round number 2. Jotaro Nakao knocks out Tony D'Souza.
You know, he's very good at frustrating his opponents, and just when you think he's going to do that same thing, he comes back with something like that. And D'Souza went down. He was still there. He was a little wobbly, but that was all she wrote. Jotaro Nakao, the winner via knockout.
The middleweights are up now, and we have an exciting matchup for you between Eugene Jackson, the man they call the Wolf, and the big dog, Ricardo Almeida.
My name is Ricardo Almeida. I'm 24 years old from Weehawken, New Jersey. They call me the Big Dog. I am a submission specialist, and my greatest skills are on the ground. I am a black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
I'm the Wolf, Eugene Jackson. I'm 34 years old, living in East Palo Alto, fighting out of Redwood City, California. I'm a UFC veteran, and my left hand is lethal. Both my victories in the octagon have come by knockout.
I'm going to take him to the ground.
I'm looking to throw some punches, haymakers, and cold ones.
I am the Big Dog, and the Big Dog rules the cage.
The Wolf is back.
Up next, Eugene Jackson versus Ricardo Almeida. Tail of the tape, Eugene Jackson is 10 years older than Ricardo Almeida, and there is a reach advantage for Almeida as Jackson comes in at just 5'8". Almeida is 6 foot tall. Almeida likes to strike. Is that the smartest approach, though, against Eugene Jackson? Only time will tell. Our referee for this matchup, Mason White, ready to get us started.
All right, Ricardo, you ready? You ready? All right, let's do this. Come on.
Here we go, Almeida and Jackson. And Almeida comes flying into Eugene Jackson and throws him down quickly. Oh, my.
Beautiful takedown. Almeida, he's going to work that head out. You don't want to be here with him. Jackson has got his head tied up, but he has got to, and there we go, back on the feet.
And throws him down again. Jackson certainly wants to stand up. Almeida wants to look for a submission.
And he's got that guillotine. He did have Almeida trying to work that arm through there. Eugene extending the hips. And Almeida could be in some trouble.
Oh my, Eugene told me earlier today he would be in shock if he wins by submission over Almeida, because Almeida's the submission king in this particular matchup. But he's worked a lot of submissions, Elvis, because he wanted to improve his submission defense.
Absolutely. He brought a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach over from Brazil, and he's living with him at the moment. He looks quite comfortable in the guard here.
Chao Perini living with him in his hometown of Redwood City, California. Originally from East Palo Alto. And Almeida is in now the closed guard of Eugene Jackson.
Let's see whether Almeida crowds him on the fence and looks to strike, or tries to work out to try and pass that guard.
He is halfway past. He landed a good right, able to get that right leg through. If he gets the other one out of the half guard of Eugene Jackson, this is going to be interesting because that's where Almeida wants to be. He is one of the best grapplers out of the Renzo Gracie Academy.
Well, certainly for Almeida, it's all about control, isn't it?
Absolutely. He will look to pass the guard, solidify his position, and then look for an opening. Try and pull out an arm or look for that neck and try and finish with a choke.
Although he is a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu student, he's not always as aggressive as others with jiu-jitsu backgrounds with his submission attempts, though.
Yeah, last time he felt that his match wasn't that exciting with Matt Lindland. He says this time he is coming out and he wants to have a great match, a great fight for the fans. And right now, he's somewhere where he wasn't with Lindland, and that's on top of Eugene Jackson in that half guard.
Well, you'll remember at UFC 31, he was disqualified in the matchup against the Olympic wrestler Matt Lindland for kicking a downed opponent. Inadvertent as it was still a foul. He did it too many times, and that meant the end of a very disappointing night for Ricardo Almeida.
Yes, he did say he was very disappointed about that, and he wanted to come back tonight and make up for it by giving the fight fans an exciting fight. He's working some nice shots here, trying to look for the pass. He wants to get past that half guard so he can start looking for his submissions or a better position to strike from.
Here he goes. He's working Right foot on top of the knee, trying to loosen up the legs of Eugene Jackson. Jackson tying him up, and almost. Almeida almost. There it is, but Jackson reverses.
Uh-oh, careful. Got to be careful here.
This is where Ricardo has to make sure that he doesn't rush. And you can see Eugene is keeping his hands on the ground because that means Almeida can't throw those knees until those hands come up.
Jackson remaining patient here. And this is not a place where even 6 months ago he was all that comfortable.
Jackson.
Oh, nicely done.
And now Jackson in the side control. Almeida rolls, and he is in his guard. That is where Almeida wants to be.
Well, Jackson worked through a difficult situation there. You talked about his new relationship with his jiu-jitsu coach. It paid off right there a moment ago, Elvis. They're on their feet, and Jackson will want to throw. There's a kick that connects with Eugene Jackson.
Jackson landed.
And another one, but he just ducked under the right.
He's been working that leg kick, and he's been working dropping his head so he doesn't get tagged.
And he is falling into a triangle. Jackson trying to posture up, and Almeida has pulled the head down.
He's locked it in. He's got to lift his hips up to finish it. He's got to, oh, there it is.
There's the tap. It's over. It's all over. Eugene Jackson submitted by the triangle of Ricardo Almeida.
Almeida is ecstatic. This is what he wanted. He wanted a submission. He wanted something for the fans, and he's done it.
Now, it's often been said about Almeida, he sets up his submissions in the same way that boxers set up punches and counter punches. He sets this one up beautifully.
Let's take a look at this takedown. Jackson hooks the leg high, takes Almeida down, but pays the price as he lands in the triangle. Almeida pulls the head down and pulls his own foot down, clamps it down.
And from here to finish that move, he has to pull down the head and lift his, see, he lifts his hips up, and that's what finishes the choke. What a great move here. And there's the tap.
So Almeida vowed to be exciting tonight, and he certainly was as he evens his UFC record. For the official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the very first round. Winner by tap out due to a triangle choke, Ricardo, the Big Dog Almeida.
So Ricardo Almeida, the winner by submission over the Wolf Eugene Jackson. Let's check in with Ryan Bennett.
All right, guys, Ricardo here. Ricardo, at the beginning, it looked like he had you in a guillotine there. Were you worried, concerned at all?
No, I saw that was part of his game. I knew they was going to go for it. I took the opportunity to take him down and to start to tire him out.
He tried to catch your kick. You got him in the triangle. Take me through that sequence. What did you see that you knew you could get a triangle on him?
I saw that he was throwing the right cross when I was trying to kick. So I figured, let's go for the head. And then he picked my leg up. It's natural. My body just do it. You stick your hand in there and you're going to get caught in the triangle.
Let's talk about your future. What do you see next? Who's out there that you like a shot at?
I just want to fight at UFC. It's the best show in the world, the greatest crowd. I'm definitely going to be back here next time. Thank you.
Ricardo Almeida is your big winner. Back to you, Mike, in the ringside.
Thank you very much, Ryan. The four-time national jiu-jitsu champion in Brazil has now officially won his first match in his UFC career. Lots here tonight, including a light heavyweight matchup against Murilo Bustamante and Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell has one thing on his mind, winning tonight and looking ahead to Tito.
My name is Murilo Bustamante, 34 years old, from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I fight in UFC 25 and I beat Yoji Anjo by choke. It is a great opportunity to prove my skills.
Hi, I'm Chuck Liddell. They call me the Iceman from San Luis Obispo, California. I'm 31 years old. I fought all over the world. I've taken out the top guys. In my last two fights, I've knocked out Guy Metzger and Kevin Randleman. Murilo's a very skilled fighter, but I'm on a roll and he's next.
I respect Chuck. He's a very good kickboxer.
I'm looking to stand up with him and knock him out.
I want to fight on the ground.
He's just a stepping stone on my way to the title.
I'm very proud to fight in UFC again.
Coming up next, Chuck Liddell takes on Murilo Bustamante. 3 years older is Bustamante, 1 inch shorter. And weight, again, with our weight classes, is not a factor. It could end quick with Chuck Liddell. Our referee is Big John McCarthy.
All right, here we go, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
First of 3 5-minute rounds. And Liddell can strike. Bustamante tries to close the gap very quickly.
Absolutely, and Chuck is showing his great wrestling defense. Beautiful sprawl, and he's pulled out.
I think that's the one thing we have to keep in mind, both Jeff and Elvis, as this match goes on. If it goes on for a while, is that Chuck can wrestle. And at heart, he is a wrestler. Then became a great kickboxer. And now, as I mentioned, is a devastating striker.
Murilo had a quick attempt at a heel hook, or an ankle lock, some people might call it. But Liddell quickly gets out of there and stands back up.
Absolutely. Murilo will not only try traditional takedowns, but he, like most Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitors, will go to his back to look for a submission. He says he's been working special positions for Chuck, and he's ready for it. Let's see.
Murilo showing some head movement out there. He has been working on stand-up, and he has that single leg from Liddell. Nice right.
But Liddell answers. So now we're officially underway. Liddell's so confident in his striking, he really closes in on his opponent.
He was looking for that kick there, but he can't get to the head on the ground.
Cannot kick a downed opponent. He brings up Bustamante, and here we go again. The left just misses, and so does the right. You know, I stand here now, and I sit with you guys at the table, and I watch Chuck Liddell, and I'm on the edge of my seat because we know that with the Iceman, the fight can literally end in a split second.
Anything can happen with Liddell. He's dropped Guy Metzger. A good match there, knocked him out. He dropped Kevin Randleman.
And you can see Murilo's shoots are just too slow to pick up to catch Chuck. Chuck's sprawling is just too good. He's got to find some other way to get Chuck to the ground. A double leg shoot is not.
Whoa! And Murilo goes down from a big right from Chuck Liddell.
Now Liddell kicking the downed opponent on his legs where it is legal. Chuck will keep doing it if Murilo doesn't want to get up. And believe me, those have some force and some snap from the former North American National Kickboxing Champion. The chant of USA to the hometown favorite Chuck Liddell against the Brazilian Bustamante.
I think the problem may be that
that right just missed.
That Murilo's takedowns may not be good enough to put Chuck in a position where he could be in danger.
That's definitely going to come into play. We've seen it already. Murilo's paid the price, but to his credit, he's throwing back with Liddell.
Nice head movement there.
Yep.
And you can see Chuck has a definite weight advantage here. Murilo.
Just missing and ducking under.
Beautiful
nicely.
takedown.
Bustamante. But right up is Liddell.
That's his wrestling. He was able to turn
good knee
his
by
knees and
Bustamante.
stand up.
Bustamante's confidence starting to grow.
Watch the look on Chuck Liddell's face. You talk about intense.
Absolutely. Both guys throwing leather. Both guys going for what they're best at.
This is a man in Chuck Liddell who is as intense as any fighter we have. And a guy walking down the street who you might be a little afraid of, but you have to get to know him to really know the man. An honors degree at Cal Poly in accounting. Mom and Dad still always say, why don't you get a real job? He says, because this is what I love. I love mixed martial arts.
Absolutely. Everybody wants to do what they love, and Chuck is doing it. And I think he just shows just how many smart fighters we have in this sport.
A lot of college graduates here.
Absolutely.
Another one. He's got the double A. Look at the trip.
And he pushes Liddell back. I mean, Jeff, even Elvis sitting next to you is a computer nerd. I mean, that's self-admitted. So there are some educated fighters in this game.
Absolutely.
And Liddell gets up.
Murilo went to guard. Liddell landed a shot. He was able to break him loose and stand back up.
Well, in the same way that Bustamante has to respect the stand-up skills of Liddell, obviously Chuck Liddell has to respect the ground skills of Murilo Bustamante.
Yeah, Liddell does not want to be on the ground. You saw how quick Bustamante is. Got that heel hook, but to Liddell's credit, he sucked the leg out, stood back up.
So So 30 seconds remains in round number 1.
Murillo very dangerous. Do not take him lightly.
I don't think either of guys taking the other one lightly. They've both got, oh, nice takedown. Both guys have been very tentative. They're not taking either one for granted.
And to close this round, Murillo ends with a takedown and throwing a couple of rights. Murillo with a short combo.
Nothing landed cleanly though.
Oh, there's a big shot to end round number 1. And that will leave an indelible impression in the judges' minds. And now the horn will sound, and round 1 is over.
Let's have a look at those right hands thrown earlier. There it is. Look at that. Boom. That's rocked him. Let's have a look at it again. Right on the side of his head. That has really rocked him. Oh, there's that one that dropped him. That one really put him in a world of hurt. And that last one, he's ducked under it beautifully and got the double leg. This one's really wide.
Back away. You got it? You hear it?
Barely grazing the face of Murillo as he went down to close that round.
Under you, back out.
Both fighters looking quite well. Murillo.
Be really cautious with the punches. A lot of left hooks, okay? Everything else is beautiful, but every time he's on his back.
Showing a little bit of swelling around the left eye there. Of course, those coming from Liddell's big rights. Murillo showing great stand-up defense, and we're set to go here with round number 2.
Once again, that sign of respect shown between both fighters.
Now both men a little tentative to lock up here, standing.
Absolutely. Murillo doesn't want to get hit, and Chuck doesn't want to get taken down. Let's see who opens up first.
Chuck circling to his left. Both looking for an opening.
Chuck is circling to his left, throwing the jabs. He's looking to set up that right hand. Keep an eye out for it. Because you see Murillo slipping to the inside, which is risking the big shot.
Nice sprawl by Liddell. Liddell tripped up a little bit. And the two are throwing down here. Guillotine, partial guillotine, and Murillo hits the guard there. He's going for the ankle. And Liddell escapes the ankle lock once again.
Wow, what a start to round number 2.
Some great action there for sure.
Murillo's got to keep those hands up. He dropped them momentarily, walking towards Liddell.
He's looking a little bit tired to me. What do you think, Jeff?
He is showing a little signs of fatigue. Throwing heavy leather like these guys are, especially like Liddell, you're going to get winded.
And that's the one thing Murillo Bustamante knows he cannot do, is let those hands come down because of a lack of oxygen, a lack of conditioning, and let Liddell get a big kick away.
There he is once again. Single leg.
Oh, combination. Liddell got hit with the right and glanced with the left. Bustamante turning the tide here in round number 2.
But Chuck still managed to keep his head about him. He doesn't look like he's been rocked too much.
Well, Chuck's been hit many times as a kickboxer, Elvis, with a record of 20-2. I mean, he's taken some shots. He's proven he's got a great chin.
That's true. When you in kickboxing, it's all about kicking and punching each other the whole time. So this is nothing new to him.
Liddell trying to use that right. Murillo has that leg. Liddell grabbing the fence there. You see Liddell working for underhooks.
He's managed to pick those up.
Whatever adjustments Bustamante's corner talked about in between rounds 1 and round 2 have worked so far, guys. Because Bustamante seems much more confident here in round number 2.
I've got to give him some credit. The last time I watched him on a tape was from a few years ago, and his stand-up has never looked better. And especially you need it against a guy like Liddell.
Well, Bustamante's very active in the fight game in '96, but this is just his 3rd fight in the last 5 years, so he has been away from the game. Had that win over Jerry Bolander of the Lions Den, and this is really you know, by many's estimation, considered our #1 contender match for an opportunity at Tito Ortiz if he defends his belt tonight against Vladimir Matyushenko. We'll talk about the light heavyweight picture, also the lightweight picture, still ahead here tonight. 2 belts on the line. Jens Pulver defends, Tito Ortiz defends, and right now, Liddell and Bustamante are trying to move their way up the rankings.
If you're watching Liddell now, he's throwing those looping hooks, trying to set up that big right hand. Which was Bustamante the whole time, looking for the takedown to get the mat to the ground where he is the most dangerous.
Well, oftentimes, once Bustamante is latched, he will not let go. But Liddell again showing his skills and his background and his foundation of wrestling and avoiding taking this fight into Bustamante's world.
Murillo tried to hop the guard once again. Liddell wanted no part of it.
He made a mistake there when he jumped to guard. He did not pull the head down, which allowed Chuck to keep posture and back off.
Liddell not being so assertive right now.
Why is that, do you suppose?
There,
new respect for Murillo Bustamante, perhaps?
I would think so. There, look at that. Murillo trapped the leg, tried to land a big bomb. Liddell gets out.
Liddell has shown great assertiveness in his last few victories over Randleman, Monson. Really beat up on Paul Jones, and then recently in Pride against Guy Mesger at 221 of the second round. 3 of his last 4 wins have come by way of the KO.
It's also interesting, Murillo has been able to do what a lot of wrestlers haven't, and that's put Chuck on the ground. The only thing is, he hasn't been able to keep him there.
Oh, a big right by Liddell.
That's his trademark shot. He's looking for it the whole time.
Final seconds of the round. And McCarthy right on the horn, steps right in. And we are going to go to the 3rd round. And look at him just get out of the way here, Jeff.
That big right, Murillo, and look at that left. Not bad for a guy who says he's 100% Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I suppose that would have been false because he showed great skills with the jab there. Let's check in with Ryan Bennett.
All right, guys. Well, you see this guy on Fear Factor, one of the top shows, and Joe Rogan. Will we see any Fear Factors in the octagon here?
Probably not. I don't think our insurance policy would cover that.
You wouldn't be the guy to fight?
No, not me, man. I'm just a comedian.
You're a big fan. How long have you been a fan of this mixed martial arts?
Huge fan. I've been a martial artist since I was a little kid. I've done different kinds of martial arts since I was about 7 years old, and I've been a huge fan of the UFC ever since it came out.
All right, guys. Joe Rogan.
So happy to see you in Vegas.
Thanks a lot, man. We'll go back to the ring with Mike.
Hey, thank you very much, Ryan. And those who remember the history of the UFC, Joe Rogan used to have Ryan's job. He used to work the events for the Ultimate Fighting Championship because he was such a great fan, and he is one of the many stars in attendance tonight in Las Vegas as we are going to go to a 3rd and deciding round here in the light heavyweight category. Bustamante and Liddell.
They're both being tentative to start this final round here. Liddell started off strong.
A growing respect for each other. Absolutely.
Gotta wonder if Liddell's thinking about Ortiz. Good sprawl. Murillo's gonna try to pull the guard. He has got him there. Look at Murillo working for that leg.
But every time, Chuck has managed to stand up and spin out.
But can Chuck throw? Will Chuck throw here in round 3 more often, the way we have become accustomed to seeing Chuck Liddell fight?
I think you can count on it. He is looking for that looping hook or that big right hand. He's trying to set him up every time.
Let's go. It's worked.
Jeff, you mentioned in round 2 he seemed a bit more hesitant to throw than he was in round 1. Again, I ask you, why is that?
Murillo, he shocked me. I didn't think he would be this good standing. As I said, I judged him on an older fight. He has definitely improved. And just a couple of seconds ago, Liddell took a shot at the body of Murillo, maybe trying a different strategy.
Probably trying to get Murillo to drop his hand so he can set up that left or right hand.
Now with the punch, he'll often set up the kick, the high kick. So that body shot will bring the opponent's hands down, and then Chuck will kick high. And he has really devastated opponents in the past with that fake or that body shot that gets you down low, and then Chuck counters with those quick feet.
Good shot by Murillo. Liddell looks like he's starting to slow down a little bit.
Murillo's keeping his hands up, and Chuck seemed to be dropping, and Murillo is now starting to land some shots.
Look at that. Oh, there's a quick jab. Good left jab by Murillo Bustamante.
But I think that you just wait. He's trying to set up the shoot. He's going to throw those jabs, and he's going to duck under when Chuck tries to counter.
Liddell showing signs of fatigue. Murillo is pressing forward. Look at the look in Murillo's eyes.
Murillo looks very fresh, and that left jab effective again.
That's something interesting. Chuck normally very good with leg kicks and high kicks. He has not thrown many at all this match.
Murillo really doing a nice job of defense on strikes and then the counter. Chuck's really reaching for that left, guys, that long flailing left, and Murillo snapping that punch out the way they teach you. Chuck comes from the way outside, and then Murillo just pops it in there.
I think Murillo's looking fresher. That's why his punches are looking a little bit sharper.
And for the first time, Liddell is backpedaling. There's a shot.
Let's go after it.
That glances Liddell.
15 remains in this fight. Combination. There's a right from Liddell. And now will he try for a little ground and pound?
Chuck's going to back out. First chance he gets.
Watch your foot. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be, if he gets in too close with Murillo, Murillo will kick upwards. He's knocked Jerry Bolander out with that before. I don't think Liddell's going to play into that game. He wants it standing.
Yes, he does, and they bring it back to the feet. But Chuck has to take the action here, guys, with 1:43 on the clock.
He picked up the pace a little bit there and threw a few telling shots, but was it enough? I think he needs to do some more.
Liddell, wow, nice shot by Murillo.
Even tired, Chuck's defense is instant, and it's still good.
There's a combination by Liddell. This one's going to the wire, boys. Strap it on. Here we go. 1:18 remains. And both of these fighters, I think, now are thinking knockout.
Here come those leg kicks. I think he's left it too late, though.
Possibly another one going the distance, but still plenty of time for either man to shoot forward some offense.
Exactly a minute's plenty of time for a knockout or a submission. Both guys' hands are starting to drop now. Both starting to feel the fatigue of 3 hard rounds.
Oh, the back kick, the spinning kick. And Bustamante read it nicely. And he'll shoot towards Liddell. I think he noticed the fatigue in Liddell there. Said, I think I've got an opportunity after he spun around and tried to kick me to shoot in. But they break up again. 30 seconds remains.
But Liddell's sprawl is still looking very good, even though he's fatigued.
Well, that's his instincts. That's what he's been doing since he was a little kid. And that's what I said before. These guys still, as well-versed as they are in all the disciplines of fighting, they're able to go back to what they know best. And for Chuck Liddell, he's a kickboxer, but he's a wrestler at heart.
He's going for those head kicks at the end, trying to get that last-minute KO. He knows it's close to the end of the round, and he's got to do something.
Looking to end it. Bustamante, good defense, walks away, and once again, we will render a judge's decision.
Another tough match.
Quite honestly, I don't know who to give it to here. Great exchanges, great defense by both guys.
One can come in with him, man.
The Iceman had hoped to run right through Murillo Bustamante in the same fashion as he has run through his past few opponents. That not to be the case tonight. And now in this #1 contender matchup, we will soon find out who may get a shot in the future at the light heavyweight champion, be it Tito Ortiz or Vladimir Matyushenko.
I think Murillo may have had the advantage as he was able to trade on the feet, which is Chuck's territory, but he was also able to take Chuck down.
Liddell also lost some aggressiveness. He backed off during the last 2 rounds, was kind of backpedaling, and Murillo was pressing the fight. And that may look great on the judges' cards for Bustamante.
You're right, the judges have to consider that he had Chuck on the back foot in Chuck's own territory, which is stand-up.
Now there's one tough man, Chuck Norris, in the crowd here tonight at Mandalay Bay. We have a decision, and here is Bruce Buffer.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Liddell hoping, and this is the longest part of a fighter's life, awaiting for someone else to tell them if they are victorious or not.
The punishment's easy to take. It's the waiting that really hurts.
Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, the judges have reached a unanimous decision for the winner, the Iceman,
They love it here in Las Vegas. This man from the West Coast, California, has earned himself a unanimous decision and a step closer to a shot at the light heavyweight title. The Iceman, Chuck Liddell, wins here tonight. Sold out Mandalay Bay Event Center. 10,000 in attendance in Las Vegas as we march on, and this is UFC Victory in Vegas. Now, Pulver is on the top of the ladder right now in the lightweight division as our champion, but what about Carl Uno and BJ Penn, who will face off in just a number of weeks down the road at the MGM Grand, and Holman, who we've talked about, and Dean Thomas, who has fought tonight. What a very deep and talented category.
BJ Penn is a world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter, but he's also taken mixed martial arts fighting to another level. He has included striking, winning his last match with a knee KO. Carl Uno is the previous #1 on many people's list, and he is always dangerous, recently knocking out Fabiano Iha.
Holman is up next against Pulver, and ironically, Dean Thomas is a man who has beaten Jens Pulver in their career. So there's a look at the lightweights. Tonight we look at Jens Pulver defending his belt. He is set to do it against a man who he grew up with. Dennis Holman, Little Evil, and Dennis Holman are set to go.
My name is Little Evil Jens Pulver. I'm the UFC lightweight champion of the world. 26 years old, fighting out of Davenport, Iowa. My first fight was a draw, and I went on a tear, winning 3 in a row. And I showed if my left hand gets through, you're in trouble. I fought Carl Uno for the title. It was a back and forth fight. I won the unanimous decision for the belt. I worked too hard to get where I'm at. I'm keeping my title.
My name is Dennis Holman. They call me Superman. I'm 25 years old, fighting out of Yelm, Washington. I've got a ton of experience. I've fought all over the world, but I've only been in the octagon once. I beat Matt Hughes twice, last time by armbar in under 20 seconds. Jens and I have known each other since high school, and I've been waiting for this fight since I was 16.
I didn't know him then. I wish I didn't know him now, but his disrespect got him put in a cage where he doesn't want to be.
Jens' time is up. Tonight is my night. I'm going to take him out just as I took out his training partner.
Nobody's taking my title.
If it goes to the ground, have your stopwatch ready. No longer than 30 seconds, and it's over.
I'm gonna knock him out.
Up next, Jens Pulver versus Dennis Holman for the UFC Lightweight Championship. Tail of the tape with the belt on the line. Pulver is out of the Miletich fighting system. Pat Miletich, his trainer, his idol. 26 years old against the 25-year-old, the man they call Superman, Dennis Holman. One can throw and throw big. One can submit and submit well. For the official introductions of our lightweight fighters for this lightweight title fight, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 5 rounds for the UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. This fight is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Dr. Luther Mack, chairman. And first, introducing the fighter standing to my left. He is a freestyle fighter with a mixed martial arts record of 37-4, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Yelm, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dennis Superman Holman. And introducing the fighter standing to my right. He is a Miletich Fighting Systems fighter with a mixed martial arts record of 19-2-1. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 152 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa. He is the UFC Lightweight Champion of the World. Please welcome Little Evil Jens Pulver.
And our judges for this championship matchup is assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Jeff Mullen, Cecil Peoples, and Douglas Crosby. Mario Yamasaki will get this one started.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
They've been waiting a decade to meet each other, and here we go. Holman trying to strike quickly. Pulver looking to counter. Holman wants to take it to the ground right away, and Pulver wants to stay on his feet and throw some more.
Oh, he's got a guillotine choke here. And Dennis's face is going very red.
That's Holman's signature move, that front choke. Holman body locking in. Pulver trying to work that left arm through to get underhooks to better his position. The trash talking's over. These guys are in there and they mean business.
Jens told me yesterday I love fists, I don't like ankles, because I've lost twice in my career, both by ankle lock, and when I win big, I usually win with the left hook.
And I'll tell you something, Holman is good. No, he may be great, as some may say, with those ankles.
And he's thrown out the regular takedown as he's pulled to guard, and I think I see a bit of blood there on his head.
It's going to be interesting to see if Holman is Superman, if Pulver's carrying some kryptonite in that big left of his.
Well, if he is, he's been holding it for a long time and looking to use it here tonight.
I asked Jens before his match what was difference between the Jens tonight and the Jens last time he fought. He said, this time, I'm the champ.
He's also pain-free for the first time in a while. Took 6 months off. Hip and back problems. He has become a different fighter. This week he's sleeping fine, eating fine. It's a new form of motivation, that and being the champion, Elvis, as he mentioned to you, and he says he wants to continue to take it to another level. No more decisions. Nothing goes more than 2 rounds. And he said very nicely that when Holman was disrespectful about him and his abilities, it simply ticked him off. And so here we have the grudge match tonight. It's on the ground where Holman wants it. Pulver seems fine and no worse for the wear thus far.
Using the fence very smartly here.
Talk about 2 experienced fighters. Holman has over 40 fights, and Pulver a 19-2-1 overall record.
You know, you talk about Miletic, and Miletic is a great striker. Miletic, a former well-decorated champion in his corner, but also Jeremy Horn, who's excellent at submissions, a man that Pulver trains with day in and day out. So submission defense becomes part of Jens Pulver's arsenal.
And look at this, he's working for that arm.
Can he get the arm? Holman trying to work it. Pulver spinning nicely and delivers a right shot to Dennis Holman.
He's trying to back out now. That's Jens's game. He wants to get out there and trade on the feet.
Nicely done, Jens Pulver.
A great exchange by the 2. Rivalries in both corners with the Miletic and Hume camp.
2 fantastic coaches opposite each other.
If you were to pick one corner man that could corner you, it'd be a toss-up between Hume and Miletic. Both of them masters of their game as Holman shoots deeply, and that shot is spoiled by a sprawling Jens Pulver.
Well, Pulver has referred to Matt Hume as the Wizard. There's a huge compliment given to Hume, and Hume knows that Holman can breathe these submissions, and they've been working towards trying to break down Pulver, and Holman certainly doesn't want to be on his feet with Jens Pulver, as you can see witnessed right here.
Jens is going to back off, which is smart. He wants Dennis up so he can look for that left hand.
He's really been working on his fists. Loves boxing, plain and simple. There's a good kick that catches the midsection of Jens Pulver.
He's also capable of going the distance. His coach Pat said he's in shape. He is peak on time. He is ready to go.
Corral not liking Holman hopping or falling to guard rather. There's a right by Holman, didn't connect well. But Holman, to his credit, has a good amateur kickboxing record. He is great grappler, as we said. He knows what to do standing up. Nice high kick.
Again, moving his head very nicely and checking that kick too. Turning it in so he's not taking too much damage.
Pulver tried to get the left there, the shoot by Dennis Holman.
And Holman trying to work that left leg around the leg. There it is. And man, what defense.
Close guard very quickly for Jens Pulver. You know, we sit here tonight in Las Vegas, and the world is different than it was a couple of weeks ago. And we certainly know that. We were talking to Jens Pulver about that yesterday.
Watch here. I think Dennis may go for one of Jen's ankles. He knows it's a weakness, and he's in the guard where he can pick one off if he can get up and break those legs apart.
November 2nd, UFC at the MGM Grand as we close this second round.
There you go. Way to work, kid.
And Pulver and Holman are going to give us a great show.
Have a seat.
We talked, to finish my thought, we talked to Jens yesterday. He said his grandfather fought in World War II. He's mad right now at the state. And he feels like these mixed martial artists are wanting to put on a great show for the nation right now to give them something to smile about. And so far they have done it. Great show of respect and understanding of the big picture by that young man, Jens Pulver.
Great matchup thus far. I mean, Holman had his chance to break those legs open towards the end of the bout. As there you see Matt Hume looking on that slight cut on Dennis Holman.
Give me the Vaseline I got here. Take it.
And an interesting ploy at the end of that round with Jens pulling to guard. Who would have expected to see that?
Fifth appearance for Pulver. Second appearance for Holman, who defeated Matt Hughes at UFC Japan 4 back at UFC 29 in December of 2000, as we mentioned earlier, in just 20 seconds. Neither of these fighters has lost in the UFC, as Pulver is 4-0-1.
Good high kick by Holman, right high kick. It was blocked by Pulver. Pulver once again sprawling, and going to guard is Dennis Holman.
Watch the back of the head.
Holman speaking about his excitement fighting here in Vegas, knowing that it's the birthplace of all great combative sports. This sport has been alive for almost a decade, and it certainly has reached a pinnacle here this evening.
For the first time betting here in Las Vegas on the fights, this is the new UFC. This is recognized as a sport, and it has grown from the spectacle of old to the sport of the new and the future, and you're seeing two of the best athletes in the octagon right now.
Two of the best athletes in the world with their conditioning and their skills in their game.
And both guys showing it in this fight so far.
Neither wanting to make a mistake. They know there's going to be a lot of talking afterwards about the guy who lost. And as we said, the trash talking's over, and they are in the octagon to prove who's the better man.
Both guys using short shots. Dennis from underneath, Jens from on top. Dennis wants to set up a submission, and Jens, of course, wants to back out so he can get out of guard and get back to his feet.
Look at Holman working for that left arm of Pulver. He's working for a Kimura lock. Pulver tucking it in, not letting Holman take it out.
Oh, some shots to the midsection by Pulver. But Holman really trying to work that arm still, Elvis.
He's working that arm, but what he's also looking for here is trying to lift his hips and put Pulver on his back. You'll see he unlock his legs and then trying to push his hips forward so Pulver falls over, and then he can really lock that Kimura in. And Jens keeping his hips low, so Dennis can't take advantage of it.
Doesn't want to expend a lot of energy going for the submission. He may need it, as this is a 5-round championship fight. He's got to be prepared for 25 minutes.
And he says he knows that Jens can go the whole 25 minutes, so Holman prepared in the same way. Said I'm a cardio king now. So it's Superman the cardio king, Dennis Holman, truly set to go the distance here tonight, if need be, against Jens Pulver, with the lightweight belt on the line.
Look at this, he's working the legs up high. Holman looking for an armbar, possible triangle.
And Jens controlling the inside here, keeps his hands on the shoulders, bicep, so that Dennis can't set up one of his patented submissions. It also gives Jens more opportunities to strike from inside the guard.
Jens attended Boise State, majored in criminal justice, got his minor in sociology. He left the security of a good job, a steady paycheck, his house and his car, and everything to fulfill a dream, and that was to be a world champion, in which he is right now. Now he wants to leave tonight as the world champion still, with this his first title defense.
when he did win that title, he was very emotional about it. Very passionate about what he does. And it brought tears to many eyes in the building that night when he defeated Carl Uno for that belt.
Shortly after losing his dear friend Dusty at the age of just 17, his fiancee Gina's cousin.
What a great show of humility and respect from James.
No question about it after that hard-fought victory in Atlantic City against Carl Uno.
And this division is stacked. You speak of Uno, and he has history with Holman. He holds a defeat over Holman in a match that arguably I thought that Holman could have won. And BJ Penn is in that picture, as we've stated. Many people discredited him, saying, what has he done? Well, he's came in, and he's done. And put away with Steve Berger and Paul Rodriguez. Rumina Sato from Shuto, Japan, also in that picture for this championship.
As well as Dean Thomas, who fought earlier tonight on our card, winning another match.
Thomas and Holman also exchanged words. They have trained together since then. These guys are the best of friends before and after. But when they're in there, there's a lot riding on it, and it's all business.
The guys have got a job to do, and they know it, and they get in there and do that job.
20 seconds remains in round 2. The pace has slowed a bit, but Holman is just trying to bring this fight into his jiu-jitsu game. Bring this fight into his submission game, if you will, more appropriately.
Jen's getting a little frustrated. Holman has opened his guard, though, to close this round 2. He's looking for that elevator. Didn't get it.
Now Pulver very frustrated. Carmen Electra looking on here tonight, liking what she has seen so far.
Dave Navarro also in the house tonight here in Vegas. A star-studded event for this first huge UFC. What an impact here in Las Vegas tonight.
And after watching all those bouts so far, you can understand why everyone wants to be here.
Well, this is the fight capital of the world. And for the Nevada State Athletic Commission to give the UFC and the sport of mixed martial arts an opportunity to come here and showcase this event in this city is a great honor for these mixed martial artists, and it's a great move by the Athletic Commission. But it was done not only here, but in the state of New Jersey, guys, because of what this sport has evolved into, and that is, as you mentioned earlier, a sport with rules. It is not no holds barred anymore. It is not a war, if you will, for improper use of that word. It is truly a sport with great world-class athletes.
It's gone from a sport, from a spectacle to a sport. Now these guys are legitimate athletes. They are the best in the world. And we're showing tonight that the UFC is the premier mixed martial arts organization.
And the premier fighters in the lightweight category, 2 of them here right now, one of them the champions. Holman tries to move ahead and look for the flying knee. May have landed it just a bit. Pulver wants to throw. Can he throw? Will Holman allow him to? Holman keeping the hands up nicely. Good kick by Dennis Holman.
Good defense by Pulver. Another one.
Pulver, big left. There's a left that landed. And Holman wants nothing to do with Pulver after he delivers that left.
Great job of defending. He's got that one underhook, and Holman gets him to the ground. He's got to be careful not giving this back, as Pulver ends up in the guard of Dennis Holman.
And you can see Pulver knock his hand on the mat in frustration that this fight has gone back to the mat.
This is not where he wants to be. His hands aren't as dangerous on the ground as they are on his feet.
And he can't score here. As was demonstrated in round number 2, Holman neutralizes the biggest weapons that Pulver has to score points and try to win this fight.
There were many who thought that Dennis Holman was psychologically inside the head of Jens Pulver, and Holman made it a point to exploit that. It looks as though he may be trying to frustrate Pulver, maybe tying him up. You see his both arms tied up, and Holman may be trying to just frustrate him.
Don't forget, log on UFC.tv on the internet for all the updates, all the great news on the Ultimate Fighting Championship. New merchandise is out, new videos are set for you to enjoy at home. UFC.tv.
And right now we see Jens moving Dennis into the fence, so he can use that fence so Dennis can't set up a submission and he can start throwing shots.
Pulver starting to throw the left. Not going to get much distance there, that close to Holman. But regardless, it could be scoring on the judges' cards. You know, we spoke of the athletic commissions and giving us approval. We got to throw a shout out to the fans, myself included. I'm still a big fan of the sport.
Come on, guys, let's go, let's go, let's move it.
MixedMartialArts.com. Big hello to all the underground people out there. Me and Elvis always on there.
Absolutely.
Logging on all the time, chatting to the other fans on the underground and the other ground. These guys love the sport and they're very well versed in it. They know what's going on.
Full Contact Fighter and Joel Gold, they have a TV show out now, Full Contact Fighter TV. Airs around the U.S. and Canada, and they'll have all the recaps of this great event in Las Vegas.
And Hallman has a body triangle locked on Pulver. This will not allow him to back out of the guard.
Pulver starting to punish Dennis Hallman with some quick lefts. Got that left just free for a moment and was able to punch Dennis Hallman.
He was able to use that fence so Hallman wasn't able to push away. And once he got that hand out, he was able to throw a lot of those lefts.
Watch the fence, Dennis.
Pulver checking the time. 150 remains in round number 3. This fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Hallman needs to break his legs loose, go for that armbar once again. I thought he had it there. That's what he defeated Matt Hughes with.
Yep.
A teammate, as we said, of Jens Pulver.
Did it and did it quickly. Not once, but twice. Beating Matt Hughes is an outstanding accomplishment. Doing it twice is even better. Doing it twice that quickly is utterly amazing.
It's just one of those occasions where a fighter has another fighter's number. He's able to defeat Hughes twice. It could, you know, the next time they would meet, it could go totally the opposite. When Hallman,
let's move it.
It's a big victory for him, and he dropped the weight division.
Yes.
Jens also made a comment that he'd been working on his submission defense, and so far he's shown that it's working.
Absolutely. Because he has played in the world of Dennis Hallman more than Dennis Hallman has played in the world of Jens Pulver. But yet Hallman has not been able to submit Jens Pulver in 30 seconds like he promised he would.
Hallman could be going for that. He was looked at as though he was going for a reverse armbar, trying to get his leg over. But Pulver has managed to get one leg through into the half guard. And Pulver,
now lightweight world championship, and he was awarded a unanimous decision that night.
Closing seconds of round 3, and we go to 4.
Pulver still frustrated that he cannot throw and go toe-to-toe with Dennis Hallman, but Hallman is playing his game very well. He's sticking to his game plan, and it's been somewhat effective.
He must be frustrated.
That doesn't matter. You can still submit somebody. Okay? Listen, what I want you to do.
Listen into the wizard,
go after him hard with the right high kick and the right hand. Okay? What happens when you kick him with your right leg is that his hands come up and go down. If you immediately throw the right hand after it, you'll hit him with it. Right high kick, right hand, but you have to throw it hard and fast, and then you have to shoot. You can't stand there. You can't stand up after you throw it. You throw the right kick, the right hand, and then you get underneath him, and then if you have to go to guard, you go to guard. Okay? From your guard, you have to be active. You have to work. Okay? You have to open your guard up this time.
Let's go, brother. Let's go.
And Miletich talking to Little Evil.
Be smart. Come on, man. Keep it off balance.
Two great fighters, two great coaches.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Round 4. And a kick again by Hallman. Hallman tries to come out striking quickly. Almost to not allow Pulver to get set and strike himself.
Hallman is a better stand-up fighter than many people give him credit for. He can stand up. There's always a greater risk when you do that against Pulver.
Pulver trying to avoid the guard. He's in a half guard now. He'll try to pass it and get to a side mount where he can do some damage.
And Dennis looking for a leg lock while Jens is trying to pass.
He has Pulver's right leg. If he shoots one leg through, there he goes. He is going for that.
I see a triangle, a possible triangle. He's got that arm in, so he may be. He's avoided it.
Look at this, going around for the ankle. Oh, he may have a knee bar.
Looking for the ankle or the knee, looking to end it, and Pulver pulls out. Hallman takes his back, but they are standing.
We saw this with Uno. Pulver escaped every time from Uno when he had his back. And now Hallman says if he gets his back, it's curtains for Pulver.
And he said it won't take much longer than 30 seconds.
Look at Pulver just brushing away at the legs. Coleman trying to get both hooks in, putting all his weight on Pulver's back.
Hand control, hand control, hand control. Watch him, watch him, watch him. Watch him trying to go for the legs.
Pat Miletich watching Jens Pulver so closely. And there is certainly an advantage that this part of the fight is happening right in front of Pulver's corner in Miletich.
There has to be an advantage for Pulver, having his coach right there.
Absolutely, to help him through that, and he does get through it.
Avoided that submission attempt by Holman beautifully, but Holman was able to avoid getting past and regain the guard, where he's always dangerous.
Jeremy Horn, Pat Miletich in the background, shouting instructions to the champion, the lightweight champion, Jens Pulver.
Matt Hughes also in that corner. Don't leave him out.
No question about it.
Let's go. Let's keep
There is
busy.
Big Matt with the full contact fighter shirt on with the American flag, the stars and stripes draped upon his chest. Get a little revenge for our team. Get a little revenge for me, teammate.
Grab that wrist and go over the inside. There you go.
One of the more interesting happenings that took place a few years back was Matt Hughes against Pat Miletich. He cut Miletich on the nose, got a TKO victory. I'm sure Pat would love to have another go at that.
No question.
Dennis, climb! Open your guard and
2 minutes left in round 4. Still ahead tonight, light heavyweight title fight. Tito Ortiz taking on Vladimir Matyushenko.
Still can't get over Ortiz stepping up. As I said before, a fighting champion. He didn't have to take this fight on a week notice, but he did. And Matyushenko, a very dangerous opponent.
Both guys love what they do in the octagon. Both guys want to keep the fans happy by getting in there and giving the best and putting on a real show.
Pulver talking to his corner. Holman doesn't want to be in that corner. It's quite intimidating when you're surrounded. No more guys behind your back shouting instructions to your opponent.
110, Jens, 110. Chop, chop, chop. Now you're right, now you're right. There you go. One more, let him get off to the side. Stay centered up. Stay centered up, centered up.
From closed guard to open guard.
Looking for that Kimura again, with possibly a reversal.
Thus far, neither able to silence the other. All the talking that has taken place on the internet, behind the scenes here at UFC, and this match has been in the makings for probably 2 or 3 months, if not longer.
As you said, though, the talk is over and the action is happening.
Pulver has a little bit of swelling on that left eye of his, a goose egg starting to form there.
Well, Jens has said often, you can't break my heart and you can't break my spirit. You make a commitment to something, you make a full commitment. So there is no such thing as quit on the heart of Jens Pulver.
Let's move it, let's move it.
But he's still looking for kryptonite.
Coming to a close is round 4. At this point, it appears that this will go to 5. Crowd not happy, but that is part of the game.
Don't listen to them.
You go from excitement to go to 2 guys trying to stall out each other and look for that opening.
He's scared.
Anything can happen in the game of mixed martial arts.
Lean up just a second, Jim. Good, good, right there, right there. Lean back now. Come on.
On his head. A little bit, a little bit. On here. Jen, start looking when you're in his guard. Start looking to grab that wrist and throw that elbow over the top.
Miletich
one at a time.
You've got to do that.
and Pulver
You grab the wrist, you throw it short, and
train
you tuck
together
right back to the
every
body.
day in Iowa. The fighting state of Iowa, the wrestling state of Iowa. Where Dan Gable and the Hawkeyes dominated the sport for so many years.
This is 5, right?
Very proud team of the Miletich Fighting Systems, a team that we have seen develop over the past few years. And Dennis Holman with a great team himself. And the Wizard, as we mentioned earlier, Matt Hughes, talking to Dennis Holman. Holman will have to be decisive to take the belt away. That's just the way things are when you reach a decision in a title fight and you already have a champion.
This is going to be it. Hume was in Holman's face. He is a motivator.
And he knows what he's talking about.
Here we go. Fifth and final round. Championship fight. Lightweight title. One of these two men will walk out with the belt. The left by Pulver. Holman keeping that right hand up to protect himself from the big left hand of Jens Pulver. Spinning and connecting was Holman. But Pulver answered quickly. Now the shoot, and Pulver scoots away. Good sprawl by Jens Pulver.
And Holman scooting forward. The crowd is not going to like that. Nonetheless, it's his strategy. You got to respect his strategy.
He went for something different there. He tried to go straight into a rolling knee bar, but missed altogether.
He's got to close that distance if he wants to go for the rolling knee bar. And you don't want to get too close with Jens Pulver as the crowd reacting to Holman's strategy.
Does Holman become frustrated by the crowd's reaction to his strategy? Will the crowd, if they boo him when he tries to bring it down, force him to think, you know what, maybe I better not do that? Or will he stick to his game plan? He did there with a knee that connects to Jens Pulver.
You don't really hear much of what's happening outside of the octagon. I think he'll keep on with his game plan and keep doing whatever it is Matt's telling him to do.
340 remains. Look at that hand. It's almost glued to his right cheek because he knows that the knockout power in the left hand of Jens Pulver.
He says he is aware of the left. If he could avoid the left, the fight is his. Holman showing some swelling as well.
Now, a left or two got through there, didn't it, boys?
Both guys showing a bit of wear and tear from the very hard.
Oh, there's a left. Ducked under, brought it back up. Pulver.
Pulver's managing to keep it on the feet in the last round where he wants it to be.
The shoot and spinning away again. Pulver's freshness showing here because he's avoiding all the takedown attempts of Dennis Holman. Another great sprawl.
And this is making Holman look bad, possibly in the perception of the people, you know, not wanting to stand with Jens Pulver.
And possibly the judges as well. He knows that if he goes to a position that Jens is able to stall him, stop him from doing a submission attempt, so he's going for quick submissions.
Halfway home here in round 5.
Holman trying to shoot that knee through there.
Sure was.
But Jens throwing the left over the top when Dennis's right hand comes into clinch.
Jens seems very fresh. It says a lot of bounce left in those feet right now.
And throwing very sharp punches. But Dennis is no slouch at the moment either.
Trying to spin again. Spinning back fist out of the book of one Shoney Carter.
We saw that work a couple of UFCs ago.
Certainly did.
And that leg kick was on the lower part of Holman's leg. It could have hurt him.
Holman he's dropping his body weight. He wants to go in for a shoot.
140 remains. Will we have another fight go the distance?
The matchup these days are so equal that neither want to make a mistake. You know, use the term self-defense. These guys use self-defense and self-offense quite effectively, and neither, like I said, want to make a mistake and give an inch to their opponent.
Just showing you that these guys are all world-class athletes who get in here and fight hard, but what's even more important, they train even harder. Getting in the octagon's the easy part. It's the training before which is so difficult.
High kick by Holman, deflected by Pulver. Pulver looking very refreshed. Look at that, Holman once again going to the ground. Can't keep Pulver there.
I think you're right. This doesn't look good for Dennis Holman in the eyes of the judges. He's going for things in his game, but he's not nailing them. Double high kick, pushes Pulver back. Pulver smiles, says, bring it on, big boy. We got 30 seconds left. Been waiting a decade for this. Let's see if you want to try to finish it. Pulver does. Pulver's got that look and that step right now.
Closing seconds of the round. Let's see what happens here.
10 seconds. Oh, a left connects. And another left by Pulver. High kick, nothing there. Left, again to the chin. Pulver trying to finish with a flurry. And it is over. Jens Pulver.
And that's how you want to end a round on these judges' cards. But look at this, the respect and sportsmanship that only this sport can bring you.
It doesn't matter what history they have behind them. What they now share is time in the octagon, and that earns respect.
What a finish for Jens Little Evil Pulver as Hallman goes to talk to Miletic. Pulver paces and waits for the judge's decision. Will Jens Pulver retain his lightweight belt, or will we have a new champion in Dennis Hallman?
Hallman bending over, he is gassed. He stood toe-to-toe with Pulver for a while, able to both go the distance.
Now the double leg kick was something we've seen.
I think this is just showing how much frustration Dennis was feeling that he had to do something like this. A move like that is not likely to knock your opponent out, and if you do manage to hit clean, you're falling over on your back and you can't follow up.
We are ready for the decision. Who will be the lightweight champion? Bruce Buffer checking with the judges in the scoring table right now inside the octagon. Mario Yamasaki will raise one arm and not the other. Will Pulver retain his title? Will Hallman be the new champion? Bruce Buffer has the word. Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, the judges have reached a unanimous decision for the winner and still the UFC lightweight champion of the world, Jens Little Evil Pulver.
He has retained.
Correct. Another successful defense.
A great performance by both fighters, showing that they belong in there by going the distance.
Guys, man, all of you.
Ryan Bennett stepping in.
All right, guys, bring Jens in. The champ still retains his belt. Jens, at the end of the fight, you said something interesting. You said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Why'd you say that?
I just came to the most kick-ass state in the world to fight in Las Vegas, and I'm standing in front of the greatest crowd I've ever seen in my life. And I know you wanted a knockout, and I'm sorry you didn't get it from me tonight, and I apologize. But if you guys will have me back, I swear to God, I'll swing for the fences.
All right, the champ talking. Jens, this division's stacked.
One more thing, though, real quick. I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't live up to the Little Evil knocking him out, but it's an honor to fight in front of you and Mr. Chuck Zito.
All right, guys, the champ holds his championship. Let's go back to the table with Mike.
Little Evil is great for this sport. He is one young, classy man, is he not, Elvis?
He is indeed. He shows a lot of respect for his opponents, for the fans, for everyone. He loves the sport, and he wants to keep everyone happy when he gets in there and fights.
His camp is happy. Tito Ortiz's camp is ready, as Tito is set to defend his light heavyweight title here tonight at Mandalay Bay. And the light heavyweight picture is also stacking up to be quite interesting, especially with the presence of Wanderlei Silva, who Tito beat to earn his belt in the first place.
Right. Tito defeated Wanderlei Silva. He took him down, stalled him out. Silva enjoying success in the Pride organization in Japan, defeating arguably the best 185 fighter in the world in Kazushi Sakuraba. Vladimir Matyashenko, we said, a world-class wrestler to face Ortiz tonight. Don't leave out Chuck Liddell.
Liddell a winner this evening, and Vitor Belfort, who was injured but is fighting as well as he's fought in his career, Elvis.
He's really inspired to fight for the UFC. He says he absolutely loves the organization and he wants to make it an exciting fight, and I'm sure he will.
He will indeed when he gets his chance, but right now the chance belongs to the Russian. Vladimir Matyashenko, ready to take on Tito Ortiz in our main event. Here from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the Mandalay Bay Event Center is ready to erupt as we welcome in the challenger, Vladimir the Janitor Matyashenko. Tail of the tape. Light heavyweight title fight. Ortiz is 26. Matt Yushchenko is 30. Ortiz is 2 inches taller. They both made weight quite easily yesterday, and they are ready to square off here tonight in our main event. To meet the fighters officially, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Mr. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 5 rounds for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. This fight is brought to you by Gordon Bierce Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Mr. Tony Alamo, Commissioner, Ms. Amy Ayub, Commissioner, Mr. Glenn Carano, Commissioner, Dr. Flip Homansky, Commissioner, Dr. Margaret Goodman, Chairman, Medical Advisory Board, and Dr. Luther Mack, Chairman. And now, it's time to begin the main event of the evening. Beginning and introducing first the challenger, standing to my left. He is a Russian national wrestling champion and European freestyle champion with a mixed martial arts record of 11-1. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. He is originally from Belarus and is now fighting out of Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the janitor, Vladimir Matyushenko. And now, introducing the man standing to my right. He is a submission fighter with a UFC record of 7-2. Pound for pound, he is the top mixed martial artist in the world today. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, he is the UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Huntington Beach Bad Boy, Tito Ortiz. And our referee for this bout is Big John McCarthy.
So Big John McCarthy, our referee, our judges, as assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for this final fight of the evening, Jeff Mullen, Nelson Hamilton, and Douglas Crosby. We are set to go, and the belt is on the line.
Okay, UFC Light Heavyweight Championship, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on, come on!
Tito is in the house.
Both guys, very tentative, a lot of respect for each other. They both know what the other one's capable of.
Look at Matt Yushchenko throwing the shots. There's that lock, underhooks.
Matt Yushchenko is just as strong, if not stronger, than Tito. We have not seen that in Tito's fighting career. He's usually much bigger and stronger than his opponents. And he is a better wrestler because he is a world-class wrestler.
Tito felt with his height advantage that he would still be able to pull off that body lock. But Vladdy's showing that he's got great takedown defense. He's a world-class wrestler.
He stated he's a world-class wrestler, exactly right. He defeated Kevin Jackson in his prime, as well as Dave Schultz, a wrestling legend in the United States. It's Tito trying to get Matt Yushchenko. I don't know if he wants to get him to the ground or if he wants to stand.
Tito tries to go with the left and brings a knee to the midsection of Matt Yushchenko, looking to pull out the legs. Matt Yushchenko, the Russian, the janitor, came over from Belarus at age 14, attended a centralized school that combined academics and sports. He wrestled every single day as a youth.
Look at Tito kneeing that outside left thigh of Matt Yushchenko. Perfect technique shown by Ortiz. He's swiveling that hip through there, using his body to its fullest extent.
And keep in mind, not only is a youngster well-trained, but well-trained now with the Raw team. And our heavyweight champion, Randy Couture, is one of the teammates of the janitor, Vladimir Yushchenko.
Ex-teammates.
Absolutely.
Yeah, gentlemen, come on.
7-1 in mixed martial arts, 1-0 with his unanimous decision at the Meadowlands over Yuki Kondo. And Matyushenko showing great class, taking the fight against Tito. And Tito, the true warrior. I'm the champ, he said. Give me anybody you want, anything you want, any night you want. I will fight for the UFC and for my fans.
That was a nice knee right to the midsection of Matyushenko by Tito Ortiz. Good right hand.
And you can see Vladdy's not panicking. He's very comfortable. He doesn't get nervous because he says, this is my job. This is what oh, great wrestling reversal.
Tito trying to work the left leg and spin the big Russian around. Matyushenko, now out of Los Angeles, California. Former Russian national champion, 5-time Belarus national champion, and European freestyle champion against the champion of the UFC in the light heavyweight division, making his 4th title defense.
He is tying Ortiz up. Ortiz, arguably the better striker. A lot of Muay Thai. He's displayed it in the past. Elvis, you can attest to some of the strikes.
His striking is good, and it's gotten even better.
Look at this. We may see Matyushenko working from the guard.
If he goes to his back, Tito has already passed the legs. He just needs to clear those arms. Oh, there he goes. He's clearing the legs, trying to get to side.
To keep his balance. Matyushenko probably has perfect balance. And Matyushenko utilizing his guard. You won't see this very often.
Look for elbows. Now look for something to Tito. He's going to look to get busy and really hurt Vladdy up against the fence, which we know just how dangerous he is there.
Some of us better than others. With the utmost respect, my friend.
Absolutely, some of us have been there, and it's been an honor.
Talked to Tito yesterday, and he said, you know, many think I'm going to run right through Vladimir Matyushenko, but he said, honestly, Mike, I don't think so. This is a guy who is tough as nails. He's well-versed in his skills. He doesn't mind getting hit. He's a true fighter. So Tito really mentally prepared to go further and deeper into the fight tonight. And you have to consider that a difference because his last 3 fights, Tito's, have lasted a total of under 4 minutes.
He's also done something that many people didn't think he'd be capable of doing, and that's put Vladdy on his back. He may not be as good a wrestler, but in mixed martial arts, it's a different form of wrestling.
And Matyushenko has a slight cut on his nose, courtesy of Ortiz.
And Ortiz can do damage in the ground and pound, even from within his opponent's guard.
He gets those elbows in and he drops them. You don't need a lot of room. Just enough room to drop that elbow in, and they're devastating.
And one thing you need to consider is with the strong wrestling background of Matyushenko, there's not a ton of submissions that have occurred in his career. And so Tito doesn't have the fear of getting an arm caught as much as he might against even a Vitor Belfort with his jiu-jitsu background. He's not afraid to throw those elbows.
Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! And he's really driving that elbow in, and the round is over.
So we are officially 1 round deep. And all the fights tonight have gone deep.
And we can see that cut.
You're doing good. How you feel?
And Vladdy's going to see if we can get it closer. Nope, we're on Tito at the moment.
Listen to me.
Ortiz, he did it.
When you
put Matyushenko on the back, but guess what? We started over again. There you see Matyushenko, a cut on that nose, possibly one on his left leg.
I see that one on the left eye. It doesn't appear to be too big at the moment, but it is right above the eye, and that's what the referee and the doctors will be looking for because they don't want blood to go into the eye.
Team punishment. So far, Ortiz able to punish Matyushenko from the top.
He only got a takedown. When you lock him up,
round 2 should be equally, if not better, and more interesting.
No problem.
Now Tito is going to try to punch and punch early in this round as he did the last time.
Let's go.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him push Vladdy up against the fence and do exactly what he did.
Move over there, move back, get on back.
Still dribbling. If he gets hit a couple more times
Let's get it on. Come on.
Signal the end of the match.
Tito will try to zero in on it. The kick by Matyushenko. And Tito delivers on. Matyushenko looking for the takedown. He has the leg. Tito avoids, gets a quick knee in, and a good combination with hands. Now Matyushenko trying to answer. And Tito clinches.
So he covered beautifully, got his elbows up, so those shots were landing on the outside of his arm, and he managed to get his favorite position, the double underhook, looking for the body lock.
Say what you want about Matt Yushenko's boxing skills. I mean, he may not be polished, but there is a lot of power coming from behind those punches.
People have described him as boulders, fists like boulders, and a granite chin.
And a will.
Look at that
Tito hopes is not undeniable, as Tito can't bring Matt Yushenko down.
Matt Yushenko grabbed the fence right there, and it permitted Ortiz from getting the takedown. Ortiz expending energy. We've seen this before. I think he could have gotten that takedown if it hadn't been for Matt Yushenko grabbing the fence.
I agree with you, Jeff. I think he had that takedown, but that grip spoiled it, and he was able to spin out. And there come those knees again. He's going to keep working those knees in the fight, because that's just going to slow Vladdy down, and he's going to start being able to open up with his punches later on in the match.
Now, Tito was talking about the Randy Couture-Pedro Rizzo matchup a few UFCs ago, and he said what really impressed him that night was Randy's guts and Randy's will. And he really looks up to Randy Couture after that fight, even more so than he did before. And it looks as if Tito may be pushed to show those same type of qualities that Couture showed in victory over Pedro Rizzo. The rematch is set for November 2nd down the road at the MGM Grand.
It takes a great contender like Vladdy, though, to push Tito to that limit.
Ortiz looking for that opening. You'll see him shoot the hips back and fire a knee just like that right to the midsection of Matt Yushenko.
Vladdy trying to use a more traditional Thai knee, trying to hit outside knees to the ribs and body.
Come on, work.
Short shots, trying to get the other person to open up, and those knees punishing again and again.
Ortiz tying him up here. He needs to create distance and pick his shots. But we expected a wrestling game here, and that's what we're getting, is the two are jockeying for a position standing.
Tito starting the Tito Ortiz Foundation, a program to help kids stay off the streets, off drugs, and out of gangs. Tito very serious about taking his role as the light heavyweight champion of the UFC into the community and to give back to his fans and his friends all around this great country.
He wants to be a great role model for the kids, and he wants to give back to them because he knows he was an underprivileged child, and he wants to help those that are also underprivileged, and that's a great trait to having a champion.
He works great with kids despite his vicious abilities in the ring there. He's a fighter in the ring and definitely a gentleman outside of the octagon.
Certainly on paper, Elvis, Tito would not want to wrestle with Vladimir Matyushenko, but Vladdy's not giving him a choice, is he?
Of course not. Every time he tries to throw combination standing, Vladdy will trade, but he's doing it so he can get the opportunity to get a takedown. Oh, and Vladdy's grabbed the fence to spoil that takedown again.
And there's going to be a warning, I think.
Yep, John McCarthy stepping in. There's a foul. The foul was given to Matyushenko for grabbing onto the fence. Good call by Big John McCarthy. You cannot grab onto the fence. He may have gotten away with it before, and he may have even been given a warning by John that time. Didn't do it twice because Tito was looking for the big takedown. And this is good for Tito nonetheless, because now he's able to try to throw again.
There's those heavy shots by Matyushenko.
And there's that patented body lock that Tito loves so much, and he's so devastating for him.
Sloppy, if you will, in the estimation of some, but effective and powerful from Matyushenko. And Matyushenko likes that front kick too, although he hasn't had a chance to set it up at this point.
There's a lot of power behind it. He can put his weight into it, even though it may not look technically pretty. He's still a dangerous weapon.
And into the midsection of your opponent.
But possibly also glancing up and hitting the chin and risking a knockdown or a KO.
Tito dropping down for the double leg. Matyushenko. Oh, there it is. Unbelievable. They said it couldn't be done, and Tito was doing it. He's taken down Matyushenko towards the end of round 2.
Tito, the two-time California State Wrestling Champion in junior college, had a record of 58-1. So he can wrestle, and he's shown it here, Elvis.
As we've always said, this is not wrestling. This is mixed martial arts. When you add in knees, punches, kicks, elbows, it's a different style of wrestling. And Tito's showing that his style of wrestling works.
Let's go to one of the replays here. Tito Ortiz going deep for this. locks around both legs, pulls it in, drives it forward, and gets Matt Yushchenko successfully to the ground.
Continuing to work on the left eye of Vladimir Matyushenko. Our fighter's safety is of the utmost importance.
This could become a real problem later on in the match if it keeps going further.
Tito's ready to go. Vladdy won't be far behind.
Hey, he can take him down easy.
Tito's looking motivated. He wants to get in there. Look at him. He's light on his feet.
Come on! This is what he loves to do. This is his stage, and right now, this has been his time.
Trying to throw a big overhand right there. And Vladdy coming back with his own combination.
There are those unorthodox shots.
Yep.
A lot of boxers want to box someone who knows what they're doing rather than face someone like Matt Yushchenko. Not discrediting Matt Yushchenko at all.
I absolutely understand what you're saying there, though, Jeff and Elvis, because you don't want to get hit by something unorthodox because you're trained to look for things in certain spots. That time he looked for the takedown, and he was able to get it.
It's the same remark we said before, that this is not wrestling, it's mixed martial arts. It's also not boxing, it's mixed martial arts.
It's a great point.
Tito has kneed Matt Yushchenko to the point where he's cut his own knee open. A little bit of blood trickling there. Very harmless as he throws some shots down.
I actually think that may have been from one of the earlier leg kicks.
There you go. Take your time. Make some room.
First fight in the UFC was somewhat conservative for Matt Yushchenko. Some said boring, but as Vladdy said, it was smart. He knew what his opponent was going to do as far as his striking skills with Yuki Kondo, so he didn't give him a chance to win. And that seems like somewhat of his game plan here tonight against Tito.
Oh, Tito.
But Tito's starting to tee off. Starting to tee off. He's broken through.
Elbows.
He's working the elbows. A little ground and pound on Matt Yushchenko. Tito busting that big, strong body in through the guard and trying to damage his opponent here.
Matt Yushchenko once again getting the legs around.
And that eye swelling up. His left eye, I think, is looking quite swollen. And that cut opening up. Another cut, I think, underneath the eye.
Listen to this crowd. They are 100% behind Tito Ortiz. As if the building wasn't hot enough. The introduction to Ortiz was unprecedented like no other.
Look for the short elbows now. He's setting up. He's going to push down with his palm so he can lift his elbow and drop them in.
There you go. Get that point in there now. Bring the elbow right across his head, Tito.
Matt Yushchenko, the left eye swelling. Ortiz working it in just like you said. And his arm is strapped.
Bring him back over here.
He's going for a sweep from there, and he's got his own arm trapped.
Bring him right back over. Go to the body. Go to the body. He's getting tired. There you go. Do that. Hey, dig a big
Matt Yushchenko trying to deliver some rabbit punches himself, but those will do no damage to Tito Ortiz. This one, Tito has a little bit more leverage on, bringing that arm a bit higher and trying just to break down a Russian fighter from Belarus, 30-year-old Vladimir Matyushenko.
I'm also seeing swelling on both eyes on Vladdy. This could cause a lot of problems as the match goes on, especially with Tito continuing punishing him with punches and elbows.
Watch your fingers.
He's just so effective with those. And I can tell you, I've been in there to feel it.
I remember talking to you before the fight, Elvis. The title matchup that you had against Tito, and you said the thing that concerned you about Tito is that he can be so damaging.
I warn you one more, that's it. Get your fingers out of there.
I wonder what Chuck Liddell is thinking about that. These guys, great friends, they have stopped training with each other in fear that they're going to meet in the octagon.
Liddell winning earlier tonight by unanimous decision, 3-round fight against Murillo Bustamante. And now Tito trying to retain the belt, and they could indeed, as you mentioned, Jeff, be on a collision course. And wouldn't that be something to see? But first of all, hands full of Tito Ortiz with Vladimir Matyushenko right now.
Keep it working.
Well, I think Tito here is going for a smother, trying to wear Vladdy out.
Old wrestling technique. Just get in your opponent's face real quickly and disrupt his breathing pattern to try to take some of his wind away.
Also gets him forgetting about the punches and elbows, which he throws in straight away as he tries to pull the hand away.
As you become fatigued in any sport, especially this sport of mixed martial arts, it becomes so much more difficult to keep your concentration.
Your hands start dropping, your defense goes down. It's dangerous.
Yushchenko's got to be getting frustrated here. He wants to be on top. He wants to ground and pound. But unfortunately for him, Tito has been able to successfully take him down several times. Keep in mind that point factor in the previous round,
Give me something big on
was fine, preventing the takedowns by grabbing the fin.
Good work. Take that back,
the elbows.
Something big right here, all right? 30 seconds, come on. 20 seconds, 20 seconds, Tito.
He's
Let's
just
go.
holding Matyshenko so he can set up that left hand.
Ready, go, 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 go.
He set up the right hand.
Let it fly, Tito. Let's go. Keep driving. Bang.
Oh, nice right elbows to Matt Yashenko.
They are just so damaging.
10 seconds, Tito.
Gotta keep an eye on that cut.
Go, Tito. Tito, gotta go. Elbow.
Tito will work that cut to his advantage. And another round is in the books.
I'd have to say another round for Tito.
Again, scoring the takedown against Raw team member, real
You on top, you own
American
him.
wrestler.
No problem. When you create that room, put your point on his face and just do this.
The Raw team tonight.
As the match has progressed, I wonder how Matt Yashenko can do damage on Tito. Because if Tito's going to be able to control the ground game, which he has done well, even though he'd rather be on his feet, Elvis, and Matt Yashenko can't work any damage on the ground, what can Vladdy do?
Vladdy must be very
Just like you did with House, huh?
I mean, his whole strategy being a world champion wrestler is to be on top, and he's not.
Yeah. Let that right hand go sometime.
His only strategy is to either land the heavy bomb, which we know he can do, or to take Tito down. He has to be on top. I don't think his submissions are good enough, and he's just continuing to take damage as Tito puts him down and pushes him up against the fence.
And again, I mentioned earlier, the lack of submissions from Matt Yashenko means that he does want that dominant position. He's not going to do as much damage from the back. Round 4 underway. Matt Yashenko trying to land a bomb, and Tito trying to work the knees.
Vladdy started off with a good combination there, and now Matt Yashenko has his underhooks. Now he has Ortiz up against
and
the
then we have the patented body lock, and that's the takedown that almost happened before.
He is fully mounted on Matt Yashenko.
And this is where he may be able to finish it. Full mount, ground and pound on Vladimir Matyushenko.
How good is Vladdy's escape from this position? This can be a very dangerous position. Oh, and he's taking elbows.
Tito working the elbows, striking and striking again.
Reopening that cut on the left eye of Matt Yashenko as Ortiz pressing this fight forward in the full mounted position.
And you saw Vladdy trying to bridge out so he can reverse Tito and put him on his back. But Tito was able to hook the legs and sprawl his hips down, which kept Vladdy flat.
Myself included thought this was a very dangerous match for Ortiz to take on a week's notice. As I said, give this guy credit. He is silencing the critics who say he can't hang with a world-class wrestler.
And we know Vladdy was already preparing for another great wrestler in Randleman, so he was prepared for a good wrestler. But Tito has still managed to show just how good he is in the octagon.
And when it comes down to it, we mentioned it earlier in the night, he can box all he wants, he can throw all he wants, and he's become a pretty good hitter, Tito Ortiz. But at heart, he's still a wrestler. It's the thing he knows best, and he's demonstrated it here against Matyushenko tonight.
His use of the mount, passing the guard, and using those hooks has shown he's also progressed beyond just a pure wrestler, and he's become a grappler. He wants to be known as a submission wrestler.
Ortiz in the 2000 ADCC World Submission Wrestling Championship submitted more people than anyone in the tournament. A fact that is not quite known. Ortiz can submit people.
In Abu Dhabi, beat Van Arsdale and Matt Hughes, Ruben Asado, those strong submissions.
And there was that bridge attempt again by Vladdy. And they shot the side of Vladdy's head. They've got to be wary.
I think that even surprised Tito, how well he did in Abu Dhabi. It really gave him a bit of confidence in his ground game that may not have been lacking, but it could be because he had stressed his game on the feet so much in his recent fights.
Well, he went to Abu Dhabi to prove that he's not a one-dimensional fighter. He's doing it again tonight.
No question about it. Some new skills.
Sit back and unload something.
Maybe just showing us some of his old skills
2
again.
minutes, Tito. Sit
He's
back
really
and
shown that he's earned that #1 position. He's the best in the world at 205 pounds.
I'm not going to get this guy, though.
Thus far, he has dominated yet another round, round 4 here.
There you go.
Matt Yashenko,
Come on,
gotta get out
let's
of
go.
that now.
Give me some room. Clear some room and then start dropping the elbow again.
He wants wants him to be. Matt Yushchenko hasn't been able to work from the top as he tries to bridge and roll once again to get Tito off the top.
Sit back a little bit so you can unload on it.
I think he's going to be looking for a head arm choke here.
Now clear some room and sit back on your ass.
He may come to side.
Okay, give me some room now. Make some room.
Go for a choke.
Matt Yushchenko.
Yep, he's got the arm. He's putting the arm underneath Matyshenko's neck. He's hitting him. He's going to pop that right leg out if he can and go for a choke. No, he's in the guard now.
Matt Yushchenko recovering from the
you gotta touch him. You're sitting there. Come on.
Credit for that. Ortiz is in the controlling position.
All Matyshenko's been doing the whole time is just holding on. Because he knows if he gives Tito room, he's in big trouble.
57 seconds remains in round 4. What a night it has been. All the fights so far going the distance. Dave Manet, a unanimous decision over Gil Castillo, our new middleweight champion. Matt Serra defeats Eve Edwards. Chuck Liddell moves on with a 3-round unanimous decision over Bustamante. And then Jens Pulver in the grudge match against Dennis Hallman wins the decision in 5 rounds.
Yes, will this match go the distance, or will one of these fighters manage to finish it?
Earlier tonight, winners Dean Thomas over Fabiano Iha by decision. Ricardo Almeida in the triangle against Eugene Jackson, 4:06 into the first round. And Jotaro Nakao defeats Tony D'Souza 15 seconds into the second round by KO. And now all that remains is the main event between these two fine warriors.
And I'd have to say that's a 4th dominating round by Tito. What is Vladdy going to bring out in the last round?
He has got to bring out something. He is down, definitely.
Rico, grab this one.
I think at this point, the only way he can win is with a knockout. So I don't think it's going to be a submission.
When you're in that guard, sit back on your hips a little bit. He's just pulling you down. Sit back on. He can't get you off. He can't get you off.
Throwing Tito off of his game.
Final round. Last round. Let's go.
In this final round of this championship bout.
And then just run it across.
Rest the point right where you want it, and then just go like this.
Relax. Last round.
No small cuts.
Last round. Go for it, baby. No problem.
That's all you do. Tired, man.
Has it worn him out?
Hey, jump up.
Has he been affected by those shots? How is his confidence being on his back for the entire bout so far?
Ortiz was dancing like Sugar Ray Leonard just moments ago.
Are you ready? Let's get it on. Come on.
In perfect cardiovascular shape. Matt Yushchenko looking a little refreshed.
There's a left and a combination of punches. But Ortiz put his opponent down. Didn't kick a downed opponent. Good recognition by Tito Ortiz there. He would have been penalized.
Look at Matt Yushchenko firing back.
Tito, and Tito's cardio is excellent. Just came back from 3 weeks training in Big Bear, high altitude. And these two want to end it. They don't want to go to the judges' cards. Matt Yushchenko with a bull rush. And Ortiz tries to avoid, and he does nicely.
Great sprawling there. He avoided that beautifully. Both guys trading earlier, throwing kicks, throwing punches, really being aggressive. They know it's the last round, and neither of them wants a decision.
Wrestling definitely has came into play here. Not in the favor of Matt Yushchenko.
Like we would have thought. I'm sure this has stunned a lot of people. I know, myself, I really expected Matyshenko to be a lot more dominating. I didn't expect him to be on top the whole time, but I did not expect him to be underneath as much as he has.
Well, I certainly thought that Tito would need to weather some storms, and the storms have not come really often, if at all, this evening. Tito has been in control and is just moments away, I believe, from putting that belt right back around his waist.
Look at this, Matt Yushchenko almost had him where he wanted him, and Ortiz gets back to his feet.
The great strength and conditioning of Tito Ortiz.
But also he smartly used the fence. He knew he had the fence behind him, which was going to be hard for Vladdy to drive forward so he could pull his legs out from underneath. That is a smart fighter.
When I see these skills displayed by Tito tonight, it scares me that he still tells me frequently, he says, Mike, I'm only at 60 or 70% of my capabilities. He's only 26 years old, and he is the most dangerous fighter in the UFC today. And well-versed in so many skills.
And every show, he gets better. There's something.
Yep.
There it is, on top again.
You're exactly right, Elvis, and it is somewhat amazing.
hard to remember Tito Ortiz as a youngster. A few years back, fought his first UFC for free to keep his amateur status. Now look where he is, the top star in this division in the world.
As he likes to say, the most electrifying fighter in mixed martial arts.
UFC 13, May of '97 in Augusta, Georgia, was the night he made his debut. His loss that night to Mesger in his second fight, his only other loss in the octagon, to the one, the only, Frank Shamrock. Tito was great for 3 rounds that night at UFC 22, but Frank retained his belt. Tito gave him a ride, and when Tito learned that he could stick with Frank for 3 rounds, it boosted his confidence so high, and he has been on a roll since. Defeating Kondo, Tanner, Elvis Sinasek with us tonight, and he thinks in about 2 minutes, Vladimir Matyushenko.
Well, I don't think Vladdy's going to be able to pull off a submission here. And after what I've seen tonight, I don't think Vladdy's getting back to his feet either. It's all a matter of what is Tito going to do. Is he going to manage to finish it, or is it going to go to the judges?
Well, this is only, if it does last another 1 minute and 40 seconds, only going to be the second time that Tito Ortiz has gone to decision. The other when he first won what was the vacant World Middleweight Championship at that time, defeating Wanderlei Silva in Tokyo back in April of 2000.
And many people thought he wouldn't beat Wanderlei Silva.
That's right.
Superior striker. He took him down, neutralized him, and now Silva, as we said, at the top of his game in Japan. But Ortiz holds that big victory over him. He's working for another one right here tonight.
A lot of people think that Tito's overrated, but he's proving every time he comes out that he's not. People are saying the new Silva will beat him. People are saying Matt Vladdy will beat him, and he's proving no, that's not the case. That's his octagon, and he wants to own it.
A night full of fights that have gone the distance, a first in UFC history. Fans love the knockout. They may still get one here with 43 seconds remaining. But I'll tell you what they have seen today is the display of all the mixed martial arts skills that have evolved in this sport over the past few years. 30 seconds on the clock.
Ortiz is pushing away for some distance. He's trying to work those shots through there.
Trying to get his legs up so he can rain down punches with brutality.
Ortiz doing quite well against Matyushenko, up against the fence.
As this round counts down.
Tito going to finish with a flurry. Going to leave the fans something to cheer about. And undoubtedly, he will walk out of this building tonight with his belt around his waist, still UFC champion.
But what heart that Vladimir showed, going the distance and taking that punishment and not wanting to give up.
Tito wants to wait till it's official before he goes into his routine.
Vladdy's eyes closing up there.
Not a lot of marks on Ortiz, just the knees. Continuous strikes against Matyushenko opened up those knees of Ortiz.
And you saw the respect Tito showed by refusing to do his grave digging routine. Went up to Vladdy and showed him the respect that he's earned.
Very nice. As he has grown, as the sport has grown into a fine young man, Tito Ortiz will remain champion of the UFC in the light heavyweight division. He disappointed, I think, in the same way as Jens Pulver, that he couldn't be more electric with the victory. But to win is to win, and to fight another day as the champion is the goal of everyone inside any sport in which one team goes home a loser and the other team goes home a winner.
And you can't say this was not a dominating win.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision. It should be of no surprise. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, the judges have reached a unanimous decision for the winner, and still the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito
Ortiz. Tito remains the champion for Ryan Bennett, Elvin Sinasek, Jeff Osborne and our great crew here in Las Vegas. Mike Goldberg saying, see you November 2nd, everybody.
My right.